3 plums, I'm good to go.
3 plums. That's a good way to start.
I
All
have
right.
3/4 of a cup of coffee, so I'll do. It'll do. It'll do.
I'm not going to mention how much water I'm going to drink during this session.
I have a big pint glass of Coke. I'm good. Alright.
I feel like I'll drink a while.
So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Manor House. When we last left off, our intrepid adventurers stormed into a playroom and they found many little kobolds playing, having fun, and they killed them. All
We
except,
didn't kill them all.
all
We had
except
2.
for 2 little kobolds who surrendered after seeing the overwhelming force that was approaching them. Excuse me.
One of these 2.
One of these 2, who was a bronze scale kobold, the only one you have encountered in this dungeon, seemed to latch on to your ranger after he said something to him in a language you couldn't comprehend. But
No, he latched on to Darius because, well, he was kind enough after I had shot him, but sent a bolt into his knee, and then said, basically, guys, give up. But details. Anyway, we had 2.
Get out,
One of
stupid
them decided to give up after we had slaughtered pretty much everyone but
Yeah.
him and Timotto.
sorry about
And,
cheese. I do.
Not a problem.
Okay.
And
The second one surrendered when he said he was when he seen he was completely outnumbered. However, this little alliance didn't last for long, as the kobold named Stitch, a red scale, attempted to betray you, to be thwarted by your new companion Timotto. Afterwards, Timotto used his insider knowledge and lied his little scales off to a large armoured dragonborn to get you the key you need to access the main hall. He also led you to a closed-off secret passage with some misty tactics. Luther Lightbringer was able to find an extended, non-blocked passageway that gave you a peek into the main hall and finally saw the master. You have retreated into the servants' quarters, you have barricaded the doors, and you are having a nice long rest. So, ladies and gentlemen, players and viewers, what do you do?
Well, assuming nothing murders us in the night, I think we're going to enact our cunning plan to destroy a dragon.
Alright, yous argued about the tactics, but yous haven't settled on anything.
The tactics that I remember us planning on using, so correct me if I'm wrong, anybody else that has other ideas, is we are to have Timotto up here, waiting, and then we will go downstairs and engage the dragon, attempting to get a flank on it and get it maneuvered under the chandelier if it's not already. And then when it is under the chandelier, Timotto drops the chandelier on the dragon.
Luther, that is a very poor idea. You remember last time?
Yep,
You fell down?
I'm aware.
You remember that last time the dragon was asleep on his gold pile? You heard him move and shuffle around, you heard him speak several times, and you heard him yawn. You heard the crunching of his treasure and the shifting of gold all throughout your rest.
Well, I hope Darius could understand at least a few words of what the dragon was saying.
He seemed to be ordering food,
Ah,
but for now, you're not sure where the dragon is in his room.
well, we could go and check. I mean,
Yeah, we could take another peek.
but then again, by the time we're downstairs,
He could have moved again.
he could have moved again, so that's a very big question mark there.
Rogue's fastest, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 50,
Let me just
80, 85, 90, 85, 100, 105, 200.
Bear with me a
What
second.
if we hit him really hard?
If we...
Okay, this is Darius. He is rolling a nature check, and he's trying to remember what he was told about black dragons. He knows the nature of black dragons. They are extremely arrogant, and they guard their treasure jealously. They will never leave it alone for long, and often
So he
take
is-
great offense to anyone who tries to take from it, but will tolerate people who offer to add to his hoard.
Ooh.
Darius tells this to you. So he reasons that the dragon probably won't go far from his treasure pile. At least while he has the kobolds and the dragonborn here to serve and feed him.
I
Reasonable
wonder...
enough.
I wonder... If I were to use something that were animate, say using a scroll of animate object, it's fairly likely that he has some weapons in his pile. If I animate a sword, it might be useful to at least poke him a bit.
You might want to check the rules on that spell.
Yeah, animate
Okay.
object, it has to be really close to you. You can't do something
Okay.
that's too distant.
Okay, yeah, I could probably go add 2 coin to his pile and then go. Hello, here. But yeah, it's probably a bad idea.
Okay, so does anyone want to check and see if the dragon is still there?
I would
The
rather.
rogue should do it. He takes 3 rounds dashing actions to get downstairs if needed.
Hmm. I should have trained some beasts at home to do this sort of thing.
Okay, so the idea then is you are going to go stand at the door, and then I will check on the dragon status and sprint to the party to let them know
Yeah.
what we should do.
Yeah.
And then Timotto will stand up here and drop the chandelier as appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the door
Darius
opens
has
to the
relayed the plan to Timotto. He stands here, clutching at his new armor, and he looks real fucking scared.
It's okay. It's gonna be worried about us more than
It's fine, but we kill dragons all the time.
yeah. Yeah, sure.
Okay. So,
27?
you manage to sneak right up to the little hatch and you poke your head out. You have a look down and you see that the dragon has indeed moved from where he was the night before. It looks like he has rearranged his pile. Several things have been added to it and he is now delicately rearranging things. He seems too focused on his treasure to notice you. Roll a perception check.
9.
He's in the middle of the room. Like, I don't know. Don't know why he's chose there.
Is the chandelier directly over him? I think there's some perspective shenanigans going on here.
Yeah.
You don't know. You had to look, but you can't line it up from here.
Okay, well, I'll leave that in Timotto's capable
Not even
hands
with
then.
an intelligence check?
I think.
Well,
six
if he's
perception
asking,
is
the
what
perception was to try and see about that. But if you want to try an intelligence check, I will let you.
Sure. What's the worst that could happen?
13.
I would say yes. This chandelier is smack dab in the middle of the room, in the ceiling, whereas the dragon's treasure pile is smack dab in the middle of the room down below. You have a feeling that if you drop this, it will fall on the dragon's pile.
Okay.
Yeah, but will it fall on the dragon? That's the big question.
You're not entirely sure, but the dragon is puttering around on his treasure.
Yeah. Wait until you hear sounds of battle, and then drop it as soon as you can.
Timotto
Say
just kind of
Timotto.
looks at you and blinks. He
who
has
doesn't
no
understand
idea
a
what
word
you
I
said.
say because I don't speak Draconic, so I hope that the correct plan of battle was relayed to him earlier, and then I joined the party.
Yep. Darius
Beevehr?
explained it to her. You coming, Beevehr?
Yes?
Come on downstairs then.
Hmm.
Alright, well let me just grab you guys. Now then,
And fling you over into the other map again.
what is everyone's passive perception?
I
Passive
have a passive perception of
Hang on, where do I see it
17
again?
here. It's right under your skills in the character sheet.
14.
I must be stupid.
So you see where the spell check bonuses are?
Mm-hmm.
Or the skill checks?
Yep.
Okay.
Just underneath it in the time box.
The box directly under that.
Alright then.
Oh,
Uh,
30.
Wisdom perception. Yeah.
30.
Shava
Yeah.
and Darius, you hear something as you head out into this corridor. You hear something in the hall down below. You hear several grunting voices, and you hear the grinding of metal on stone.
Fuck,
You
the
also
big
hear
voice
a
there.
familiar voice. I want you to roll me an intelligence check to see if you remember this voice.
I know exactly who that is. I don't even need to roll. I wouldn't even. I didn't hear it, so yeah.
Alright
I
then.
didn't hear. Notice that. Yeah.
I have
If
lost
someone
Darius'
told me
character
I
sheet.
heard someone, I know the voice, I would say.
Alright, let me
I
just...
would, I would probably react in the fashion saying, basically cursing and saying, "Oh, great. He either found his sister, or he's just hanging out in the front room."
Oh, that's a save. Oops, my bad. See, even I do it wrong sometimes. 14! Darius kind of holds his hands out and looks at you guys and says, "Guys, that's the guy from the kitchen. That's the one who wanted to buy the mead."
Ooh. I think I'm needed here.
Hold it.
Oh,
Sorry, hold it. That scraping of a heavy sword on stone. Why do I have the feeling that he's not alone and it's not his cooking crew he's with?
You do hear several chittering voices. You don't hear the deep voice of the Dragonborn, though. It sounds like kobolds.
Well,
maybe he has a really big butchering knife.
I just say we should be careful just in case the big boys here.
Are the sounds
Everyone
coming
to go
towards
ask.
us?
It sounds like they're just below just over the banister. They're probably down at the bottom of the stairs.
Okay. We should
Whatever
probably
you
just
do,
wait.
if all of them are just kobolds, try to avoid bloodshed. After all, this is the new cooking crew for our generous donor, the one who hired us. Bought cheaper than he hired other people.
I'm sure he'll love having a kobold cooking crew.
Well, he
I'm sure
can.
he'll be over the moon.
At least he doesn't have to hire anyone, does he?
So, my proposed plan of action is to just wait until they come and go.
Okay, but by that time, anything can happen.
That's
I think
true.
it's too soon for the delivery to have come in.
I suppose they were rather looking for horse meat. After all, I parked my carriage outside.
Ooh.
Alright. As you are whispering to each other, you hear a squeal of pain and sudden annoyed chittering down the stairs. There's a loud clunk of something heavy and metal on stone.
Uh-oh.
One voice goes louder than the rest. The one you recognize as the chef, he appears to be shouting angrily.
It's likely he's looking for the key.
Alright, you know what, actually, let me just do something real quick, because I just realised something. I keep forgetting that Tony's not here. Just gonna pop
Maybe
this.
they ran out of the honey samples I gave them.
Probably. After all, you can carry only so much honey.
Ooh! Darius hears everything. He kind of sits with his ear cocked down towards the stairs, and he turns to you guys and says, I think they just dropped something on one of the other guys. The chef's complaining about them ruining dinner. He sits and listens. He listens a wee bit more. Yeah, they dropped something heavy on one of the kobolds.
Oh, great. Maybe we should go down and offer to carry it for them. I know it might be a silly idea, but if we look like we pose no threat and instead just bring him dinner, yes, I know.
It's a silly idea, but it might
It's silly enough
actually
to
work. It might be a good idea. I hate it. I hate it a lot.
I hate it so much, I can't even begin to explain it.
But I think I'm with you.
It's the stupidest idea I could ever come up with.
I would like to know I'm staying upstairs waiting for it to go wrong.
Okay.
Alright. So,
I mean, the idea is just it's gonna get us close to the dragon without having to wade through 2 rounds of getting hit with breath weapon at long range.
So, what do you want to go down? What do you want to do?
I'm not gonna be the one talking.
Yeah, I know I've speak
They don't. Well, only one of them speaks our language, so.
Beevehr remembers that the chef spoke to him in common.
Won't you notice that we don't look like goblins, kobolds, whatever? Little guys?
Well, we've just been conscripted from the prisoners, and if we can fool the dragon that way, I mean, it might work. I said it's a silly idea, but it's silly enough that we might just fool the arrogant dragon. I have the feeling Chad is already enjoying the idea. Don't know why.
It would fool me.
Well, your crown has everyone fooled already.
Oh, I forgot he's still wearing that. So, is someone going downstairs?
Beevehr, you've already established business
Yeah.
relations with them, so
Yeah, I can go and ask him if I can help.
Alright.
we can help. I mean, you and your troop.
I'm strong.
Yes, I know.
Okay then. Beevehr goes down the stairs.
While
So-
Beevehr is doing that, I'm going to stealthily look over so that I can see what's going on. And then I assume, is there just like a chef here doing his thing?
Chef and crew, I would suspect.
Okay, can you see that, Beevehr? Can you see downstairs?
I see.
Okay, give me a sec. I get Specutator down here too then.
They can look downstairs, but we do not.
Pretty much, yeah, you guys are still hiding upstairs.
I'm attempting to hide in a way that lets me see.
Go Suntide.
And that's what the 15 stealth roll is.
I can't move. There he is. Okay. Let's move up here. Okay. So,
Just make certain that he doesn't run into a copy of himself.
Beevehr comes downstairs. He finds a large cauldron that had been carried by 4 kobolds. However, one of the kobolds is now under the cauldron. The chef is standing in the background and he seems to be rather annoyed. He glances up and sees you coming. His little face brightens up and he waves at you and starts pointing. He pulls a piece of paper out from under his little chef's jacket and he points at it. You recognize it as the order sheet.
Oh yeah, I'm going to take that and then also mimic all the actions while I'm saying that because we still don't communicate that well. I'm going to take that and I'm going to bring it back and you're going to get the honey. But since we have great customer service, please imagine the pantomime for customer service here. Since we have great customer service, why don't I help you carry that in? It looks really, really heavy and here's where I flex a lot. I'm very, very strong. And I have some buddies that can help too if you want.
The chef starts nodding enthusiastically. He shoos some of the kobolds and they just kind of like scarper over to the side. He shakes his little fist at them and you hear him mutter in Draconic and the little kobolds look ashamed.
Cool. I'm gonna try to read this guy's mind.
Sure. Okay then.
Just to make sure that he's on the level with us.
Let me roll a save
I think he's
for
on the
him.
level with us because what would he gain from cheating?
Look, I've got a helm of mind control. I'm gonna use it before the adventure ends, and we're about to fight a dragon.
Is that a
you
wisdom
have
save?
only a
Yeah.
helm of
Yep.
telepathy.
He rolled a 14. He beat it.
It doesn't work.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Well, you now have a migraine.
You try and listen, and all you hear is baby shark do 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 baby shark.
You should have known better than trying to read a kobold's mind. And
You have a
Again.
sneaky suspicion that you accidentally hit Beevehr. All right.
And that's only the first part of the item's description. If that works, I can actually cast suggestion on them. So it is partial mind control.
Pretty nice.
Yeah, but suggestion is
Pretty limited. It's true.
yeah.
Suggestion's great.
It's only putting the thought in someone's mind.
I would like to show them that I should call my buddies in because that is a very heavy cauldron. So do I need to roll for that or?
All you need to do is just shout for them.
Wait, no, don't shout, big boy, big boy.
I think so.
If you go halfway up the stairs, they could see you.
Hey guys, it's we can help these guys that we just coincidentally met down here.
Okay.
I did not anticipate this. It is a surprise to me, but I think it's going to be very good for everyone.
Okay, who's
Including
going downstairs?
Everybody's going downstairs.
Even Luther and Snuggles?
No, I'm staying upstairs.
Alright.
I mean, you should come with us. Our whole plan is to get close
It'll
to the
be
dragon.
fun.
We engage the dragon in combat while you're hiding up here because you want no part of this madness.
Okay.
Alright.
I mean, you are strong and big and everything.
Pretty much. Okay, just give me a second, let you get used down. There we are. So everybody's down. There's Darius down. Okay, now as you
Where
guys
am I?
shuffle down the stairs, where are you?
A good question. I can't see myself. Have you hidden me somewhere in a corner? Again.
No. There's Darius. There's Shava.
Beevehr, Luther, and
There's
Snuggles?
Beevehr, Snuggles. Did I miss you
Where am
upstairs?
I?
Oh crap, that was a crack in reality.
Oh, there you are. I missed you in the selection because you moved down the stairs while I was trying to get everybody.
Roleplay too hard.
There you are. Okay. There you are. Okay, now then. The kobold chef, who again is only like half your size, starts looking at you guys up and down and he seems exceptionally happy that you're here. While he is looking at Beevehr and holding up the honey samples and seems to want to have a conversation about the honey samples, this little kobold runs in the door. He runs over to the chef and starts talking. Let's see. Where is
Let's see if Darius can
Darius
tell
is
what he's talking about.
Yeah, it's an easy thing because he's literally just talking there, he's not trying to hurt it. He turns and starts whispering to you guys that this little kobold was sent to look for the female dragonborn, but hasn't been able to find her in the theatre, her room, or out in the garden.
Did we kill her?
You did.
Yes.
You stuffed her in a box.
After she's gone mad. Why,
The
that
chef
is
starts to look a
disconcerting.
little bit annoyed. And he starts muttering about how we're going to get the keys. The master is hungry. Darius relays this all to you guys.
Oh.
Oh shit.
He
Well,
turns
we were-
and he points up the stairs and starts talking about the other Dragonborn. And this little kobold starts to shuffle his way across the stairs. He doesn't want to go up here, but the chef is making him. Does anybody want to...
Well, some of us are very good with locks, so maybe we should have a look and see if we can open it, even with the lock of the. You said the missus of the house missing?
You don't have to bother them.
Roll me a straight up charisma.
A straight up charisma, not a charisma save, just a regular charisma.
Yep,
That's gonna hurt.
11. The chef calls out for this kobold to stop, who's currently having issues trying to get past Snuggles. And he kind of looks at you and narrows his eyes. Like he's like waiting for you to continue.
I mean, our friend over here.
Why
point
did
to-
Snuggles jump in the soup?
I measured it there, but I just moved down. I was like, I'll move out the way. Wait.
I mean, Shava over here is someone who's very skilled with locks. She's a locksmith. And I basically nudge her a little bit so that she's not just like,
Oh
"Come
yeah,
on,
sure,
support me."
sure. Definitely a locksmith.
The little chef starts rubbing his chin.
I've seen a smith a lot of locks.
And he beckons you over and points towards the door.
Who has the keys that we've got?
Don't you?
Sure.
Don't you have the tools that you need? Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Say no more. Say no more.
I'm asking out of character who actually has the damn keys.
Oh,
The magic keys.
I think one of them is hers is actually already in the door.
Darius has one. The other one, I think either Shava took it back or he's left it in the door. I can't remember. I think you
Well,
left
I
it
wasn't
in the
here
door.
for that, so.
I think Shava took it back.
Well,
So
in that case, I would have it. I
Darius
will
apparently
attempt.
shoved you. Alright, Darius
Uh,
heads forward and starts to talk in Draconic. You hear him. You see him turn on a big smile. He's trying to turn on the charm, but he doesn't look very comfortable at it. And he reaches into his pocket and pulls out the second key.
Oh no! While he's reaching into his pocket, so am I.
he's a fucking idiot. In this case,
I was going to pickpocket him and steal the key from him with sleight
Oh,
of
that's
hand.
good.
Ooh, alright then. Sleight of hand. Is there...
Which is
that would be a perception, I think, on that. Let's have a look. Where's Darius' skill sheet?
Yeah.
There it is.
To get
it's,
this-
I believe
And he has...
it's an opposed task, yeah.
Perception. Nah, he doesn't do it. However, I'm going to roll this now, though, because he's tried to fill... Oh yeah, he fills the kobold. The kobold starts beaming and nodding. Darius is groping in his pocket, and he kind of looks awkwardly. And he turns around and says, "Guys, I think I dropped the key. He thinks we're here on behalf of the armored dragonborn. He thinks we're the new goons."
Oh,
Oh no, it's fine. You were having me carry it, remember?
Oh,
And I'll present it.
oh, okay.
I
You
mean,
can
if
see
he's already
this-
sold that, if he sold that lie to them already, I'll go with that. That's fine.
Darius is just wiping his head, going, "Oh dear God."
that is so much, Tony. In a way. It's
Well played.
Alright.
roguing.
we've got Jurnis playing Tony playing Darius.
Yeah, pretty much. No, there's a reason
Kind
the
of,
channel's
yeah.
called Jurnis Plays, and not just with your emotions.
I'll go over here and pop the key in the lock.
Okay, the chef looks pretty happy. He looks at the other little kobolds and he starts making shooing gestures. So they all just head
Let's
back.
scamper.
You can see them
old
all
scamper.
making their way back towards the kitchen. And for
One of the most glorious and beautiful things about D&D is how long and squiggly the line between two very close together dots can be made by players.
Yeah. All right.
So I'm just gonna pull those guys off the map
Yeah.
real quick. So, the chef looks pretty happy.
Now let's deliver this food.
All right then. So,
Off you go. I think we can handle it from here on.
are you going to attempt to open the door?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, how are you doing it?
Does it have handles?
Nope.
Well,
The only protrusions are the carved metal and the 2 iron rods you've slotted into place.
Is it a
Can
push
you-
door?
You give it a little push, it doesn't budge.
Wait, I got this. Sesame open!
Why don't
I think you got this the wrong way around.
Oh,
Why don't
sesame
before this-
close!
before the chef leaves, we ask him, since we're new here, you know? That,
He kind of
we
rolls
got
his
the key,
eyes,
but
he holds
we
both
didn't get
hands
directions.
out in front of him and makes twisting gestures.
We need to turn the keys, basically. I would say.
Oh, well. Do we need 2 people to do that at once, or?
That's novel.
I would assume so.
To reach both of them, it would be at the full extent of your hands, so you think it will probably be easier for 2 people to do this.
Well, Shava, on the count of 3. 1,
Okay.
2, 3.
Okay, you clunk the rods, they kind of retract into the door, and you hear the absolute cacophony of grinding gears. You also hear a soft melody of a music box starting to play from somewhere above the door.
Fancy.
As this door opens ridiculously slowly, you'll see that the metal of the decoration parts, and this little wheel starts to spin that has prancing horses on it as the music continues.
It's a friggin' show before you enter the main room.
That's exactly what this is. The door finally ends where you hear a strangled little note. The last note strangles its way out as it sounds like it has finally gone out of tune.
At
But the
least
door
it
is
at
now
least
open.
It wasn't playing It's a Small World after all.
I imagine it sounding a little bit like Pop Goes the Wheat.
Okay.
So, I think we can wave goodbye to the kobold chef. He
He scarpers on ahead.
Okay.
He quickly points towards the pot and makes beckoning gestures.
Alright.
Time to lift up the goods. No, I'm not hopping into it. Do we need to do a strength roll or something?
Roll me, anyone who's going to be lifting the pot, roll me a strength check.
Regular, not a
Add them
saving.
together. So let's just roll me a.
Lift it with my back again.
Wow.
Alright, I would say you just managed to get it up, but it's slippy because the soup has sloshed over, so you can't get quite enough grip to shift it safely. You're going to have to set it down and try again.
Okay.
Why doesn't Darius take my place? I'm not so good with the lifting stuff.
That's a good idea.
Alright. He reluctantly comes forward and pulls all his gloves on tighter. Alright.
He's not. Everyone's doing bad tonight.
Why aren't we just using our strength our actual strength numbers as an addition? That's when I'm fine. It's like, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, down.
Okay.
I think I need a back brace.
I'm going to just to I'm going to roll deception now to pretend that I was just kidding with how heavy it is. Oh, it was heavy.
Yeah,
ETP,
no one
what
is
are you
fooled.
trying to see?
Trying to see through the deception.
No one is
Through-
fooled.
Here's deception. I think that was thinner than.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on. What if I animated the cauldron?
Ooh.
It could possibly move itself.
Yes. Is it good?
Actually, that's a great idea.
Okay. Then I shall use my scroll of animate object on it.
Alright. Because this is a larger object, I would say it would take probably about half the charges because it's such a large, heavy object. So normally you can...
Wait, what? It's a scroll, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a
It's a
scroll.
scroll.
You can animate
Yes,
up
it's instantly
to...
used.
Yeah. Oh, right, sorry.
You can
You use
you can
it.
animate.
I don't know why I thought it was an item.
Well, that's the thing. Is animate objects lets you animate up to 10 things, and a large object counts as 4 things.
Yeah,
All
four.
right.
Alright.
So I still got 6 things left over.
Yeah, but you got to do it all at once, so it would have
Yeah,
to be.
it's all in one go. Otherwise, the scroll burns, and it's just the use of it. It's a one-use item.
Yeah, so it's probably already gone by the time I find anything else that is useful to move.
Possibly, yeah.
I'm just saying. I mean, we could try it.
The cheesy thing is to spend the remaining 6 charges on coins and have a swarm of attacking tiny coins.
Oh yeah.
It's
Wouldn't they
actually
only
makes
do
it
like
pretty
1
extremely
damage if they
powerful.
do it?
Oh
They
no,
would be,
they
they
do
would be a wonderful distraction for the dragon.
1d4 plus 4 damage, and they've got an AC of 18. So,
And the
Brilliant.
plus 8.
Well,
They're
in
not
that,
fucking-
in
they're
that
good.
case, I'm going to spend 6 of my gold coins as well.
that's what I want to hear.
Now it only
So,
lasts for a minute, so we're gonna have to start this fight real quick.
We need to
to get any use out of
skedoodle
them.
right now.
Alright, I only have 95 coins left now. We have 6 animated coins. We gotta move it, leg it.
Let's go.
Alright. So, you pull this out and you cast it. The cauldron shudders. It seems to sprout 4 solid little legs and it lifts itself off the sticky jam that used to be a kobold. The chef seems real excited about this as the cauldron starts to move toward. He scurries up here and he throws these doors open. Inside, you see
The dragon.
the large
And,
ballroom with
just-
gigantic open windows.
Well,
the dragon itself.
open windows that have been boarded up, it seems.
No, that's just the texture of it. They are actually open. The giant window at the back of the hall is actually smashed. This window is completely open off that looks over the cliffside. So this is the way the dragon gets in and out.
Well, isn't that lovely?
The dragon hears the noise and he looks over expectantly. The little kobold scurries in and he proudly declares that dinner has arrived as he motions towards the cauldron. The dragon shifts and starts to move and turn his whole body around to look. He sees Shava and Snuggles and he eyes them suspiciously
Okay.
as
I
the
would
cauldron
like to roll initiative.
starts to shuffle into the room and set before him.
Going with the idea that we
Where then
we
you
need to act
hire-
very fast to take advantage of these animated objects at all, I would like to just launch into an attack and hopefully catch him by some level of surprise.
I'm down.
So
I'm thinking I'll short bow, you throw something at him, or you run in.
I can bonus action dash. So
Oh, yeah, that works.
Shava, I shove the 6 coins into your hand because I know you'll get closer.
okay. Should we roll initiative, Jurnis?
If you
Not
want
yet.
to
He's not
initiate a
attacked
fight,
yet.
I would say go for it. One of you, whoever rules the highest initiative, will get a singular attack round. A singular surprise round.
Okay.
I hope it's me so I get Snuggles moving too.
It's not me. I fear it's Beevehr.
Damn it.
I'm not looking forward to this.
Okay.
Give even 20 I deserve. Oh, fuck. Why is it Beevehr?
We're all going to die.
Darius.
Ah,
Oh no.
someone
no.
slightly competent.
Slaughter.
And what's the dragon's initiative?
We'll see, won't we?
Dragons.
He will go after Darius is going.
Oh my god!
Yep.
He's
Dragons have
got
great
it.
initiative.
Great. We all get to
The
surprise
dragon
him.
has been added to the turn order if you want to see his initiative.
Oh, sick.
He's a one. Hang on, we're not trying to attack the kobold.
He's still here though.
He is still here though, so he goes on the initiative order.
I feel very bad for that kobold, by the way, because what was up to this point the greatest day in his life is now turning into the worst.
Well, depending on how you see it. I mean, he might have a new master.
Or a new hole.
Either that, or he might see his. Either way, his days working for the dragon are over.
Okay, so
Should
Very
Do we
confident
get-
of you.
tokens for our animated objects?
I'm looking for something.
They should act on the animator's turn.
Yes,
my
they
turn.
do.
Great. Well, I shoved him into Shava's hands before
Yeah,
we
But
started,
you-
so
you use a bonus action to command them to do stuff.
Alright, that's
Okay.
your coins. In that case, let's just. Okay, so Darius looks around you, and he steps forward. You can see he is going to attempt to talk to things, but he glances over to Shava, and just simply asks, "Are we doing this?"
Yeah.
looks like it.
Alright, he looks around everybody for confirmation. Alright,
Just spread out.
so he stands there, he looks at the dragon, he takes a deep breath, and he bellows, "Nay, Timotto!" As you watch, you hear a great thunk from up above as the giant chandelier crashes down onto the dragon. The dragon lets out an absolutely furious bellow and rears. He stands up and he looks at you guys absolutely livid. Who wants to roll a quick perception check?
I'm decent at perception. I'm stuck at perception.
Oh,
I'm a little bit better at percepting, apparently.
Barben, the
Yes.
dragon's wing is broken.
Well, at least he
that's
can't
not
run.
good for us.
That's excellent news.
At least he can't fly away.
Okay, it is now Darius's turn on the turn order. He is going to use his first attack to cast Hunter's Mark on the dragon. That didn't come through for some reason.
Oh,
Try again. Why isn't Hunter's Mark working?
I have no
do you want me
idea.
to hit you? Do you want me to hit you with my hunter's mark quickly?
No, it's alright. It's He's already kind of
Well,
cast it on there.
doesn't have any immediate effects, but
Yeah, it just basically increases the damage on
There you
his turn.
Oh, it rolls 1d6 when you do it.
yeah,
Yep.
that's
So
that's
we'll
the
just...
hunter's
I
mark.
thought it didn't explain Hunter's Mark. I was like, oh, brilliant
Like-
software.
There we are. Hunter's Mark. That'll do. Okay then. So that's his turn, and he is going to move over here and pull out his bow. Next up is the chef. The chef is shocked. He doesn't know what just happened. The dragon in front of him is furious. The pot behind him is making little stamping noises. Up in the rafters, you hear the cackling of another kobold. He turns and looks at you, Beevehr, with a look of utter betrayal.
No, no. Look, join us
With his...
and have a new master who will appreciate your food. We will deliver the honey and it will be the best food you ever made, and you won't be commanded around by some asshole with a broken wing.
roll a persuasion.
Roll a persuasion check. And that was very, very persuasive. I would actually just...
Woo! Not 20!
Also, you're not in the initiative order.
yeah, but still, it was basically a deck of opportunity.
Gotta click
Oh,
on your
yeah.
token
Oh, that's
and
good.
then click on initiative on your sheet, and that should get you in there. In the meantime, I am just going to roll an insight to see how well this goes. Oh my god, he rolled an at 22. -2, that goes down to 18 though. So, he looks at the angry dragon. He hears the cackling kobold. And you see him reach into his armor and he pulls out one of the honey sample bottles and he kind of clutches it to his chest. And he runs to stand beside you.
Yes, together we are joined in sweetness.
You have nothing to lose but your honey jars?
They don't get to eat the good stuff. So, I can't believe he's fucking done this. He pulls out his little crossbow. And he aims for the dragon.
I see Beevehr in the channel.
Yeah, you gotta select your token before you hit the initiative button.
Yeah.
For your
So, Jurnis, if you would give him
I'll just add you
an
in there with
initiative
that.
of 5.
Yeah.
Now, I think
That would be
didn't I
very, very
initially roll 15.
Did you?
You originally rolled a 15, yeah.
Oh, okay, well, let's correct that then. So, 15.
Sorry,
Done.
sorry about that.
Descending. That's fine. Okay. It thinks it's Darius again, but it's not Darius, it's him. Okay, so. He pulls out his little crossbow. And he attacks. Luckily, he gets advantage because he's standing beside his new ally. He misses.
Well, definitely
The
now.
Bolt glances off the horn of the dragon, and he turns and glares at the little kobold. The little kobold struggles to quickly reload his crossbow to use his multi-attack. And he hits. Sweet. So, what's the damage on this? You think by now I would know this.
The damage on the kobold?
Yeah. He does... Wow. He does 9 damage.
Well,
He hits the dragon on the lip. The dragon looks very displeased.
Well, he's giving the dragon a lip.
Well,
Next up, Beevehr. What do you do?
first, I'm going to roll intelligence once to figure out if I have an idea or not. I have
You
an
have
idea!
an idea. With your intelligence save, yeah.
The beaver's on fire.
You're safe to not be smart, not be stupid.
Okay, Beevehr is going to do the following. He's going to reach into his backpack and he's going to pull out a large sample jar. And the sample jar is marked whiskey-infused honey.
Oh.
Are you going to try and get the
someone likes to
dragon
set-
drunk?
No, he's trying to set him ablaze.
Ah.
Then Beevehr is going to pull out one of those books crumple up one of the pages and stuff it into the end of the honey jar.
Oh,
And then-
Molotov!
Set it on fire. What do I roll to throw that?
A D&D Molotov cocktail.
First off, what are you using to set it on fire? Do you have anything that you can do that?
Tinderbox.
Alright, fair
I have a
enough.
tinderbox. Yeah.
My other group did something like this as well with alchemist fire.
Seems like a common idea.
I'll call it a vial, because that's what you're throwing. 50. I'll go with the same stats as an acid vial. You have to be within 20 feet to throw that.
Well, I have it now.
So you have to be around
To do
here.
that.
It probably takes 6 seconds to actually make that.
Can I move there and throw it in the same turn?
You can, yes.
Yes,
Okay.
it's a move and an attack.
Okay. I will use the stats of an acid vial for this. So, first off, roll to attack.
Okay, attack. Wait a minute. I'm confusing myself again. Where is the roll for attack when I don't use a specific weapon?
Roll just a... roll a d20.
Okay.
With your dexterity modifier.
Okay, what is my dex? That is
Sephiroth Wolf says, I was waiting for cocktails to be saved.
20 plus
Or
2.
to be served, even.
Yeah. I mean, I have a nice idea of how to use the pot of soup. Or stew.
Oh,
That
not bad.
hits!
As my bonus action. I
You-
will move it and then tip it.
Throw the... you throw the jar and it smashes on the dragon's hide. Roll 2d6 for fire damage.
That's 1d6, and that's another d6.
So that's a 9.
It's 9 damage. Nice. Nicely done.
9 out of 12, very nice.
Okay. So, I will say that the dragon is now on fire until he pats it out.
Now you are done!
Okay, so that's all your actions. So next up, Luther!
Okay, so I can move 30 feet. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Snuggles can move a number of feet that I've never checked.
Snuggles can move a number of feet. Yeah, it's most likely that they can.
40.
Some non-zero number.
Yeah, a number that's bigger than 0 even.
20, 25, 30.
I mean, otherwise the dog has to walk backwards.
Nicely. Okay, Snuggles can't do anything else. I'm gonna try and hit it with my bow. Bow. Bump.
Ooh, that hits. That's a nat 20. That's a
That's
crit. Roll it.
And then the damage.
Saved all the good rolls.
I will click twice and add them together.
I will
it
just take that and double it.
Wait,
so
what?
that's
one.
8.
Oh yeah, so there's 8.
Okay. You hit the
what?
dragon in his little soft belly. He does not like that.
Why are we doubling that?
Because you
crit.
rolled a nat
Crit.
20, a crit.
Yeah, that's what the +1 is. The +1 is his bonus die from the crit. So he rolled 2 on his first d6, got a +1 bonus, and then rolled
If
a
you
1 on the-
check it when you hover over, it says rolling 1d6 plus 1.
yeah, and then hover over the 1 for the 3. The
That's
+1.
that was a
Oh.
1. So you hit it only for
Oh.
So
4.
I hit it 4.
You hit for 4 then. Okay then. I'm glad you said that because I missed that entirely.
Yeah, it splits it up so that if you have disadvantage, you know which part to use.
Okay then. The dragon has more health now. Blame Shava.
Sorry.
I'm only
Well,
joking.
It's my curse to try to fix the rules whether it benefits me or not.
Okay.
I wonder, it's probably a bad idea to use the plan I had before. Anyway,
You don't want to put it out.
yeah, that's why I can't use the soup.
Yet.
I'm pasting in Discord the mechanics on how controlling them is supposed to work.
Thank you.
Good, good. Okay.
Okay.
I've also set up attack macros if you want me to roll the attacks for the animated objects when the time comes.
All right.
Okay, also, Barben, I'm giving you control over your animated objects. There you are.
Over the coins and the cauldron. Okay, thank you.
You should now be able to move those tokens.
Yes, I've checked.
Okay.
Don't know how long the cauldron will last, but hey.
About a minute, and then seeing as you initiated combat not that long after you cast the spell, I'd say you'd have another 4 rounds of them.
Okay. 4 rounds is plenty.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fine.
Is that everything on Luther's turn?
Yes.
Yep, that's Luther. Okay, next up, Shava.
So I'm gonna use my movement to go here. And then bonus action dash. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
If
And
you
then I
are
have a-
climbing on the treasure pile, I want you to make me a dex save.
Sure.
Yep,
23.
you're fine. The coins, loose coins shift under your feet, but you're able to keep your balance.
And then because this is the first round of combat and it hasn't acted yet, I get advantage. Unfortunately, I missed the surprise round, so I don't auto crit, but
Mm-hmm.
I assume a 20 is a hit. And then
Yep, that hits him.
a total of 20 damage.
20 damage. The dragon feels something sharp. Poke his butt. He turns his head around and glares at you very angrily.
Cool.
Is that your turn
Well,
done?
Yep.
Alright. Barben, you're up.
I can't do what I want to do now. Damn.
Sorry.
Yeah. I don't want to throw a dragon at you.
I'd prefer it if you
If
didn't.
you're down for it, then I don't
Oh,
mind doing
fuck
it.
it.
But...
how far can my coins move in this turn?
Say what?
How far can I move my coins?
I think they have the
Um,
same speed as you. Or 20 feet even.
They have a speed of, if I go back to the other piece...
30.
30, okay.
Yeah, same as you.
Yes.
So they can't go right up to it.
Well,
You can mentally
we had
command
said
any
I was
creature you made
carrying-
for the spell if it is within 500 feet.
Right, and we had
You
said
can
that I was
command
carrying
any or
the
all of them at
coins.
the same time, issuing the same command to each one. You can decide what action the creature will take and where it will move during its next turn. You can issue a general command, such as to guard a particular chamber or corridor. If you issue no commands, the creature will only defend itself against hostile creatures.
So if I was carrying all the coins with me and you tell them to attack, they should fly out of my pocket and swarm the dragon.
Well,
That's what-
they're
that's what
swarming
I'm-
over here in the hall. They floated around you whenever you cast the spell.
I said that I shoved them into Shava's hand, but okay.
Oh, okay then. Well, in that case, as soon as you said it.
Yeah,
We will-
that was a thing that we had set up.
Alright then.
Uh,
The coins float out of your pocket.
and they attack our lovely friend, the dragon.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
I wonder if Nah, that's probably a stupid idea. I was thinking move him to the front and basically put him into a murder sandwich, but that would make it
Don't
harder on
hit me
Luther.
with the dragon. You might get hurt.
Luther's gonna get into murder sandwich range anyway.
Oh yeah.
Okay, then they'll stay by his butt and attack.
Okay then. Because
Shall I
these
roll the
are
ones
tiny
attacks?
objects, you can roll to attack with a +8 to hit. So,
Okay.
you have 6 coins. I want you to roll all their hits first.
That was what my plan was.
Shava, would you be so kind?
2 crits. 3 hits. And you have 2
So
more?
the 20.
Oh no, there
Yeah, that's all 6.
they are. Oh,
Yes.
So
I got a new follower. Thank you, Spinderman. I'm glad you're enjoying this. We're failing with this.
So,
Okay, so that's 3 hits, 2 crits. For tiny objects, it is a 1d4 plus 4. So, That is 5 attacks. Roll 5d4. And then we'll add 20.
Well, I've got the...
10, 10.
Jesus.
let me just do the... So that's 42 total damage.
Whoa. Alright then,
and then-
the coins just go to fucking town on this poor dragon.
And the cauldron should
Or-
attack too, since it's
Yep.
part of the same...
And it's
Well,
large, so it's got a different hit die.
Yeah.
The problem is
This is
that the
plus 6
cauldron-
to attack.
so
I
the
hit him.
cauldron has moved in,
Oh, sorry.
and yeah.
The first one goes, but it still does hit. And for the large one,
That's a
it is
20
2d10
hit.
plus 2. So that's 20.
Yep. No, it does 14, because the advantage roll would have been a crit,
Yeah, okay.
so
Fair
one of
enough.
the 6.
Yeah, okay, so it's 14 damage. I hope it didn't spill any soup.
Alright, and
Jesus.
now you get to take the rest of your actual turn.
Well, in that case, I could basically stay here and take potshots at him, or I could do a little bit of vicious mockery on him.
Sure.
But I think
Good
he
idea.
probably beats the requirement. The DC
Yeah, it'll be
15.
fine.
He might save, he might not.
Well,
Yes.
let's see.
Okay. What's the DC save? 15?
Yes. A wisdom save.
You hurt his feelings.
Well. Was I?
So he tries to put up a tough exterior, but you see that your words got through, and it is like you've hurt his little feelings.
Well,
All right, it's the dragon's turn.
Uh-oh.
Dragon is pissed.
Dragon doesn't know what hit him.
Okay. The dragon is going to move over. That's not the dragon. The dragon is going to move over here.
I
And
get an
yes,
attack
he
of
does provoke
opportunity on
an
him.
he does provoke an attack of opportunity. So if you want to roll it,
Both
think-
from Shava and the coins.
I think the coins should get an
I
attack of
believe so.
opportunity.
I don't know if animated objects do. Hang on.
I believe they do.
Unless it says they don't.
Unless it explicitly says they don't, they do.
Do they get attack of opportunity? Yes, they can. If you issue a command.
Yeah. Did
They've
you
been
issue a kill
commanded
command
to
or just
kill.
attack that?
Pardon?
Did you issue a kill that or just attack that?
A kill.
Alright then. Then they get attack of opportunity.
Okay,
Kill
so
because it
I'll,
means every time he doesn't have to use a bonus action, they attack naturally.
Okay.
so I get a
Shava hits.
20 short sword.
Nice.
So that's 10 damage.
And the coins? Well, at least one hits.
2 hit.
3 hit, I would actually say.
Mhm.
Does that 14 hit?
No.
The 14 does not hit, no.
But the
Okay.
23
1,
hit.
2, 3, 4 hit.
I
Damn.
assume the 18 hits from how last time went.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
So 4,
Projected AC.
6, 5,
Oh my god.
20.
The spell is silly.
Yes, but it works.
So that's a total
35.
from me and the coins of 34 damage.
Alright.
In total.
Jesus, this dragon is getting fucked up.
We're fumbling him.
Alright then.
Oh. Oh.
So, he's looking down at you guys. And he takes a large, deep breath.
Oh fuck.
Luther,
Deck save time.
Snuggles, and Beevehr make a deck
Snuggles
save.
too?
Snuggles too.
Oof.
Ooh.
Give me a second. I don't I'm looking up the stats for Snuggles because I believe he has a +2 to Dex.
You need to beat a DC 14.
Give me a sec. He has 11 +2.
Wow.
So he has 13. So no.
You're all gonna be burninated.
So-
No, they're going to be.
Anybody who did not
Alright.
succeed the dexterity saving throw takes
Takes
49
damage.
damage.
That's fine.
Are you?
Wait, 49.
Yes.
Cool. I'm dead.
How dead are you?
I'm at -5.
Okay.
Constitution of 14. I am physically dead, I believe.
No, that's
You
not.
are
how it works.
unconscious.
Oh, sick. Snuggles is at -1 sec.
You only
14
instantly die if you go down to a negative equal to your max hit points.
Yep.
So you're just out for the count. Beevehr,
Oh wait, no. I'm back to 15. Then put down to -49. Okay, yeah, he's at -34.
Okay.
So Snuggles is dead. I've actually got a stack overflow. I now have a lot of hit points.
You can't steal negative hit points from your dead pet.
Snuggles is dead.
Oh, Snuggles is straight dead. Okay, that's my turns made faster.
Alright then.
Do I make a death saving throw now, or?
No, you
The
do that
end of
on
your turn.
Okay, cool.
Okay. The dragon.
Oh wait, no, I don't. I don't die.
Oh, you're a half-orc.
I'm a half-orc, aren't I?
Oh, you get
just
you get a racial ability where you can come back
I'm
with
on
1
one.
health.
Oh, fuck you. Could you uncross me, please?
No. There you are.
I'll do myself then. I should probably remove Snuggles to 0.
Yeah.
You know what?
Unfortunately.
I'm not even going to try and heal myself. I'm going to go on 1 hit point.
Alright then. The dragon turns and he lifts he grabs the corners of the pot in his claws and he rolls pretty fucking high with his strength. Jesus Christ. So he picks up the large pot and he is going to attempt to throw it.
okay, what do... I have the feeling that I have to avoid this one.
He throws it at Shava and the coins. Shava, make a dex save.
Yeah, keep
I
making me make dex saves. Keep
I
it
actually
up.
rolled for this and to see whether it attacked Darius, Barben, or you. You'd vote for you. Okay, you managed to nimbly dodge out of the way. The coins, I don't think they get a dex save.
They
they
are
have a
tiny,
dex,
so they have a dex
they-
modifier.
Yeah,
Let's
they
see,
have a
they
dex
get
score
an
of
18 dex. So,
So whatever it is, a +4.
alright, roll me dex saves for the coins.
What's the
Roll me a
DC on
flat-
this?
I would
flat
say,
D20.
seeing as they are tiny and they're having such a large object thrown at them, I would say it's a DC 15, a hard one.
Okay, so they've got to roll a 19 for this.
Wait, what?
Jesus.
What?
Oh!
Okay,
Oh
one
no, they
gets
don't have to roll a
away.
19. They have to roll an 11.
Yeah, I was at 11. I was like, wait, what?
One gets away.
Well, two of them
So,
are
two
down.
Two
get
get
all the
destroyed.
counts are
the
down
rest
line.
get hit for half. Nice.
2 get destroyed. The cauldron, however, is now slammed against this wall and is half out the window.
Well, there goes that attacker.
Okay.
He's most likely not going to come back.
Alright, next up, it's back to the top of the round, Darius' turn. And there's something I need to check first. Do.
It would be very nice if he had some healing.
He doesn't.
Again. Oh my god, why not? I need.
You hear-
I think I crit. I can do this still.
You hear the pitter-patter of little feet as Timotto, completely out of breath, comes running in the door next to you. He managed to get there with his dash action.
He's a fast little
Timotto's standing next to me.
He started running as soon as he dropped it in the first turn.
He giggled and then legged it.
Pretty much, yeah. So, that's that. Dragon has Hunter's Mark. Where's Darius's character sheet? These are destroying this dragon, though, just because.
I had a feeling that the coins are quite the.
Just casting animate objects to animate 10 coins is one of the cheese things that people sometimes do.
Well,
Darius misses. Sadly. That is the wrong thing. Does he have multi-attack? He does.
I think he does.
Not.
He's a ranger, right?
Hang on, see attack. Oh, there we are. You can't attack
I
twice.
assume he
Okay.
does. Because he's a ranger.
Yeah, if he's using his longbow, he can attack twice. So yeah, he can attack again. And he's going to use his longbow again. That hits.
Nice.
He hits the dragon on the side. And it goes straight through and does 5 piercing damage. Okay. That's Darius' turn. Next up is the little chef. The little chef looks over at Timotto, who looks back at him. The chef shrugs
Oh well.
and goes to hide behind the door. He then
Reasonable.
tries to shoot with his crossbow again.
He
He misses.
he's not getting any pack tactics. No, Timotto's too far away.
Yeah, he's too scared.
Never mind.
He does, however, hit
No.
with his second attack, and he does 1d8. Where's my d8? There's my d8. Nope, that's my d12. There it is. He does 4 damage. No. I'll try that again with proper map. Where'd the dragon go?
Why did the dragon move?
The dragon just scooted off the map, and he... Oh, right.
I didn't do it.
The monster
What the hell?
manual...
What
The
the dragon
monster
do?
manual clipped my arrow keys and the dragon model was selected.
What?
Dragon's like, fuck this, I'm out of here.
Shit, it done the
Well,
same
he
with the
can't,
chef.
he can't fly away. He's got a little bit of a wing problem.
I've lost the chef too, but they're doing the same thing.
Well, the chef has been standing over here.
Yeah, luckily
In
I
case you
have
need him.
a backup. There we are. This guy is now promoted to the chef.
Wasn't he one of the dead guys?
Maybe.
Well, we now have a zombie as a chef.
Well, to be fair, I have a number of spare models around the outside of the map, including one like this.
Okay. Yeah, you also have a spare Barben, a spare Darius, a spare Beevehr, a spare Luther, and a spare Shava.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay.
We've seen them.
Oh, can we take a break while those guys come in?
Yeah, can I swap over
No,
for
unfortunately,
more life?
we can't have our stuntman do this.
Alright, so, the chef has done his damage.
Beevehr, it's your
You're up.
turn.
I think this would be a good time to activate my Barbarian Rage.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
happening.
It's happening.
Finally
He's
happening.
hulking out again.
Unfortunately,
Everybody duck.
fortunately, that's also means that I get even dumber.
As I
Anyway,
said, and you're turning green. Clearly.
Beaver Smash!
My OBS keeps crapping out when I record. This is really starting to annoy me.
You want me to hold for a sec?
No, it's fine. Go you on ahead. I'm just annoyed at OBS. Go you on ahead.
Why would you say that the dragon has to win from where through the honey?
Oh yeah, that reminds me. He has to take his fire
probably on
damage
his
from
right
last time.
side, which is
Yeah.
now up top.
It's on. That's the wrong option. It's on this side. It's kind of smouldering now.
Can I get there in my turn?
You could. It would take your full movement.
Mhm.
And if you
Still
run
got an
across
attack roll.
these coins, you're gonna have to make a dex save.
Not quite that stupid. I'm going to attack the other side.
Okay.
And I'm going to use
So you'll just run
Obviously,
through the
yes.
liquefied remains of Snuggles instead then?
Fam.
Let me correct this course.
I'm sorry!
Was that an acid attack or a poison attack? I forget for Black Dragon.
Acid.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm gonna use my greatsword.
There might be like a pile of Snuggles bones there.
Okay, do it.
Neatly arranged. Okay.
Okay.
You do not hit with that one.
Well, I have one attack left.
I
I
think
I'm
that
gonna hit
hits.
with that one.
That one does hit, yes.
I'm
13
gonna
damage.
take all your shoulders.
Alright.
Are you trying to mount him?
I don't know what that means right now.
You want to hop on his back and just go to town on him?
Oh my god.
The dragon is going to use one of his legendary actions to hit you with a tail attack
Oh no.
in reaction. And he misses you entirely, don't worry about it. So you manage to duck as his tail sails over your head.
You fool! Now you've only made me angrier!
You're raging. Can you form coherent sentences?
Me angry.
Maybe it sounds more like.
But in his mind, it is, you made me angry. Now you're gonna pay your taxes.
Scoundrel, I shall have vanquished you.
Alright. So that's
Verily.
Beevehr's turn. Next up, Luther.
Ow.
You are hurting, dude. Both physically and emotionally.
5,
I
10,
didn't cast
15.
vicious mockery on him.
No, but his dog just died.
Well, yeah, that's the dragon's way of casting vicious mockery. Okay, yeah.
Okay, as a bonus action, I'm going to cast Thunderous Smite.
Okay.
Great, the big guy's going to come downstairs.
And then
Click
I'm going
it
to try
to
and
pop
hit
it in the chat.
really... Oh yeah, sure, 1 second. Thunderous Smite, spell list. There you go. That's a Thunderous Smite, it's a bonus action.
This will be fun.
Oh yeah.
As I said, we will have the big guy come down the dragonborn. I know. I just know it as a player. I don't know it as a character.
Saying that's why I'm not worrying about it. And am I in range for my maul, or should I use my reach weapon?
You are not in range for your maul.
Cool. I'll use my halberd, and I believe
Okay.
get 2 hits. 12.
Miss.
12 hit.
Does not
It's
hit.
12 hit.
Does not hit.
Well, you're stepping into the air.
Because the dragon has been focused on Beevehr, he sees you coming and he deftly dodges out of reach of your halberd. And that's your turn. Shava! Shava! Da 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 da. Your turn.
Okay, well, I'm gonna get over here so I can flank this bastard.
Mm-hmm.
And if I remember rightly, we were getting advantage from that.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's...
Because it's such a large creature, I would say yes. 21 hits.
And I'll roll my sneak attack on this hit because I'm
Nice. Alright. So what's that, 18?
17 total. And then I will use my bonus action to make my attack with my dagger, which is a 13, which I assume doesn't hit.
Nope, no it does not.
And that's what I got this turn.
Okay. And that's you. Next up, Barben.
Coins move in to attack. Of course.
Roll them.
There's
There's only 4 left.
4 left.
Yep. You got it set up already?
That one hits. That one hits.
They should have advantage because the thing is flanked.
Yeah, but not to that side.
Typically, if
They're
it's
in the-
flanked by anybody, everybody gets advantage.
Murder sandwich. But, as I say, he gets hit by 2 of them. The one that missed is going to miss on both of them. Yeah, okay then. So, roll the damage.
What about the first
The
one?
third one. Sorry, the first one got it as well. I was looking at your dagger. So that's 3 of them. So roll damage for 3. All right.
19.
Sweet.
Yep.
I can do maths.
I
Dragon?
don't trust myself to do math. That's why I make computers do it.
Dragon is going to use his secondary legendary action. He's going to go for a tail attack again.
This
Against
time at the coins. He's wasting them.
I don't know. Those coins are pretty dangerous.
Yeah.
Strictly speaking, the coins have an AC of 18.
Shava, does a 17 hit you?
Hit me? Yes.
Yep. Then he hits you with bludgeoning. So let's see, where is it?
How much damage?
Give me a second, because I have to figure out how much this does.
Somehow I have the feeling it's going to be way higher than is good.
Ah, there it is. Okay. 2d8 plus 6. I'm just going to use this to do it because it's easier. So it's plus 6.
Silly question. Do you think I can get the cauldron back on its feet?
You can try. It'll have to roll a little dex save for it, though. That's 17
Okay.
points of damage to you, Shava.
Okay. I use my uncanny dodge to have the attack or the damage on an attack I can see coming,
Alright then.
and I only take 8 damage.
So, roll me a little dex save for the cauldron to see if he can get up off his little round belly.
Cauldron has 10 dex, so it doesn't get any bonus.
Okay, so a dex save would be what? Just a straight
a
up
D-
d20?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a 17.
It gets up.
It's a
It's
19.
getting up from being prone, so it loses half its movement, though. I accidentally closed the turn order. There we are.
1.
So it only has 15 feet.
So it's going there.
Okay.
Alright.
You going to do anything else on your move?
I cast on Luther. I have the ability to use Healing Word.
That's a really good idea.
So I'm
Yeah.
using Healing Word on Luther. It's... Well, what is it? It's level 1. So Luther gets 7 hit points back. It's better than nothing.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
It is
And
now, however.
The
the
only
dragon's
thing I
turn.
would have left is moving, and I'm
Fairly
think-
happy with where you are.
yeah, I'm fairly happy with where I am. So the dragons know.
Okay.
Gonna take his turn and try to wreck us.
Okay, hang on. I have to roll this. Basically, I'm now rolling on who the dragon attacks because I don't want you saying I'm targeting people. Oh, Jesus Christ.
He might still be attacking the. I mean, the ones that sting him the most
In
are
before
the
me.
fucking coins, so he would be more likely to attack those.
Okay then.
He's attacking the coins?
No, the dragon turned round and looks at Luther and lunges towards him with his teeth.
Give me a
Oh,
number.
great.
But he doesn't quite get you. And I need to roll severity because he rolled in that one. Oh, Jesus. 94.
Then what? The dragon just stumbled into his pile of gold and crushed himself.
The dragon misjudges the distance and he misses you entirely, but he slams his chin into the ground. He takes 4 bludgeoning damage.
Well,
Jesus Christ. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay.
Oh, thank God. It's
Snarling and angry, he turns to Beevehr, who is more likely to be within his reach, and he rolls for his claw attack. Does 19 hit you?
I believe that very much hits me, yes.
Yep. And he is going to do...
Remember, you take half damage because you're raging.
6, 8, plus...
No plus, just say 4. Just
So
say
he
takes 4
does
points to hit. It'll still
12,
be
12 damage.
so
Well,
6.
which
Okay.
divided
6
to
damage.
6. That is the exact number of my remaining hit points.
Why you bury it down?
I have the feeling I have to rush in and throw my last potion of healing into someone's throat.
Okay.
It might
That's
be
the
a good
dragon's
idea.
turn.
Because I'm going for the Hail Mary here, so
Next up is
really
Darius. On Darius
You've chosen to DPS race.
Okay.
yes. Because I've got a bit of a trick up my sleeve.
Darius taking a shot with his longbow. He
And
misses. Taking a second shot with his longbow. He misses. However, it's also
Unless
now
he's benefiting from the flanking that we're doing.
Timotto's turn. See if this fucking hits. If this fucking hits.
Timotto
will
has
lose
pack
my-
tactics because he's standing next to me.
Yeah, he does
Don't
get pack
forget that.
tactics. And he gets kobold commando stats.
Yeah, right. Yes, you said you were going to give him that. He's we're going
I need a pen and
to
paper. I've got a big number of dice here.
Oh shit, where's the damage dice?
What happened?
Now we take all the dice, throw them on the dragon. Everything's coming up Timotto.
I love this.
I better get to writing the ballad of Timotto.
Timotto brings out his sling. And he starts whirling it. He pauses. He looks at his sling, he takes out the rock, he reaches into his pouch and pulls out one of his shiniest rocks. He puts it into his sling and he starts swinging. And he flings it. It sails over Beevehr and strikes the dragon square in the eye, penetrating its skull and killing it.
Okay, I only got the first 2 lines down, and Timotto
The dragon rears in agony and collapses to the floor. Timotto just managed to hit him in the eye with a shard of glass. The dragon only had 4 hit points left.
Yes.
He rolled a 2 in his damage, but he got a nat 20, so he got a crit.
Okay.
Timotto killed the fucking
Beaver just tries to go.
Yay! I think we can now have to go and help up Beevehr. Now that the dragon is toast, I believe I can basically do everything. Fuck it. We're done. The coins fall to the ground. And the cauldron decides, well, legs are not my thing.
Y'all.
Wobbles around a bit. And check. Timotto, the Dragon Slayer, now needs fan art, I would say.
He needs a
Timotto
tapestry.
is looking at his
Yes.
sling and looking at the dragon, and he is just in utter shock. The chef kind of comes up beside him and just kind of like points to the sling, then points to the dragon. Is like, "Did you just fucking do that?" Timotto's like, "I don't know."
Timotto was a kobold fine, behold a kobold of great might,
I can't get
with
over
his
this.
petty sling of his A dragon lost the fight. I think I need to work on the rest of the song, but it's a good start, wouldn't you say?
Yeah!
Sure.
So, Darius is going to run over and congratulate Timotto. He seems a little bit caught up in the kobold celebration. What is everyone?
I think I help up Beevehr, who's probably still in a stupor. Here, my friend, have my last healing potion. My last potion of healing. I believe that's a regular potion of healing. 1d4 plus 4.
That's it.
I'm using healing word as a substitute because I'm
It's just
Oh,
a
lazy.
random fucking kobold just pulled out from under a fucking hobby horse.
Mm-hmm. Well, dragon's dead.
Well, Beevehr now has his 7 healing health points, so he's not as much in pain. I gave him 7 hit points, so he's now up to 7.
Thank you.
Not a problem. I think we should look for what we came for originally in this pilot. I'm fairly
Get
certain.
over this. I'm so sorry. I just can't get over this.
Well, if it hadn't been Timotto, someone else would have taken a nice jab at him. I mean, the coins would have been probably a thorn in the dragon's side. How many of these great attacks did he have left?
He had
2?
one more legendary action.
Oh, great. Well,
Hi.
Did any of you guys catch that the dragon was a zombie?
What?
no, the dragon wasn't a zombie.
Or you hit him in the brain and he fell over?
No,
can't
he
fault
hit
that logic.
You in the brain and he fell. You
I
fell
can tell you
over.
from professional experience, if you poke people in brains, they fall over.
That's a very good point.
Yes, unless they're undead, but then their brain is usually not there.
And they're not people, so...
Yeah. By the way, Shava, I must apologize for my harsh reaction when we first met. It seems not all of your kind are, as I have believed.
You'd
know,
be
the
best
kind
to
of-
keep being suspicious of Drow.
Yeah, but I know that at least Drow can be decent.
Okay.
Beaver's looking at the stew, or what's left in the pots after all the dragon threw it around.
Roll me a perception check.
No, I'm not Beevehr. It just looks that way because
Oh, right.
he
No,
moved there.
It's true.
Beaver, do you want to have a little look in there?
I'm going to have perception for that.
Hmm.
Where is it? Okay.
Alright, it's fairly easy. See now that a lot of the liquid is no longer in the cauldron, you're able to see what was used as the primary ingredient to this stew.
Why do I have the feeling that it's a red-headed? Oh, it's our friend from earlier.
It looks like he didn't get very far.
I don't think I'm going to eat this one.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I suspected it would. The redhead he was talking about. Yes, I remember these kinds of details. Which makes me wonder whether.
No, I never liked ginger.
Well, there's no ginger in that stew.
Yes, there is.
No.
There's one.
It looks like his hair color's brown.
Meh.
He's not a ginger. But it looks like he's well done.
Whoa.
Well, you,
I won't judge.
well, he's done himself no good. But then again, yeah, I'll try looking into the stash and trying to find out if the
33.
if the lovely item is there that we're looking for, the family tree.
The family tree. Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking if that's there and in a decent state.
I
You
will.
scan your way through the treasure pile, shifting through coins, gems, books, paintings, statues, but you don't find anything that looks like that. However, what you do find is 20,000 gold pieces,
That's several.
and
Quite
I
a bit
want
of
you
money.
to roll me a d6.
At 1d6, okay. Hang on. I should be able to do that.
3.
That's a 3.
Okay then. Lodged in amongst the gold, as you're searching around for this scroll tube, you come across an odd item you wouldn't expect to find in a treasure hoard. It looks like a broom. You reach over to pick it up just out of the sheer absurdity of a normal looking broom being in this hoard.
I would.
But as you
I would
grasp
use-
it, it starts to hover.
Oh great! Someone call. I've had a stage play there with something like this once. I think it was called Harold Porter.
Service literature sucks anyway.
Alright then. In amongst
So
there
I
as well,
got-
you also find 2 bloodstones, but that's only on your side of the pile.
Okay, so I got one witch's broom.
A broom of flying.
Yeah, okay, let's call it that.
I suppose I will be try digging through another section of the pile.
It's
I'll
2.
join in.
Perception checks.
bloodstones.
Roll it. Okay, you shuffle through the pile. Roll me a d6.
Wrong order. Beevehr.
Alright. EatThePath. You find a silver figurine in the shape of a raven. You pick it up, and it looks to be really nicely carved. But you get the sense there's more to this.
Insight? Or...
Do you roll a knowledge arcana?
I mean, I'm not the one who gets to decide it.
Alright, you've heard of these kind of items. They usually take the shape of small animals that are carved out of precious metals or stones. This is a raven of message carrying. You know that when you speak the word that is carved on its leg, it becomes a raven for 12 hours, and it can be used as an animal messenger spell.
Cool. While I'm doing that, I'm going to sleight of hand and pretend that I just found the signet ring in this pile of stuff.
You're... okay.
As I've taken a good look at Shava before, but no, I pretty much trust him. I don't roll a perception check.
Is anyone paying
I just
attention to
accept
Shava?
it. I'm not paying
No.
extra attention. I'm just digging in the pile, and
Okay.
no, I have, as I said, I trust them now. So, I mean, there's always the chance
Timotto
that I'm
sees what
being-
you're doing, but he doesn't give shit.
He sees through a 22?
He rolled a nat 20.
Okay.
Well,
He doesn't
I
understand
think-
what I'm saying anyway. But
Yeah.
well, yeah, but
He just thinks you dropped the shiny.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, are you going to hold it up and point it out to everyone, or?
Yeah, I think this is the signet ring we were after.
Well, I suspected that some of the items would be here. Great, I apparently ended up in puberty again. I wasn't just dropped.
Alright. So, while Shava is feigning his finding of the ring, Luther just kind of pushes around through the gold, sweeping the handfuls into his pockets, and he comes across a ring with an odd inscription around the outside, and inside it has marvelous magical goods, ring of water walking.
By the way, I can't carry all the 20,000 gold pieces, so I think we should get a wheelbarrow.
Well, let's see what Darius finds then, shall we? If I get him to roll a d6. Boop. Someone already got that one. Let's try again.
Darius gets the next thing on the table.
Darius shuffles in, and he finds himself a really nice looking longsword. As he pulls it out of his sheath, the blade ignites. Luther has to jump away from the flames. Darius has found himself a longsword of flame tongue.
Ooh, very nice.
He sheaves it, and with a look around to everyone, he's just like, "I'ma keep this," and shoves it in his belt.
Well, I just hope he doesn't store it where it should belong. Beevehr.
Timotto is just kind of poking the dragon's head with a stick, by the way.
Well, and the chef is already thinking about what can I make out of this dragon.
He doesn't know.
Stew.
He's looking at Timotto like he's a god right now. He hasn't the baldiest notion what to do.
Well, now the only one we have to ask to leave is probably the Dragonborn.
Yeah.
On what I can throw as a nuclear bomb right now, so I'm down for that.
Well, I mean,
My combo sat here ready and waiting.
well,
I've got a lot of dice to roll if I land a single hit. Like I'm down for this.
Itching to
All
spite
right.
something.
So,
Oh, I've got I'm rolling approximately 9 dice if I land a crit.
well,
I
is
think we should
there,
probably take a short rest and let Beevehr spend some hit dice.
I will be doing the same.
alright.
Oh,
While you
it's
guys are
less fun
taking
to-
a short
No,
rest,
it's-
Timotto is kind of pulling on Darius's
11,
cloak.
perfect. That's max.
And Darius is basically has a small conversation with Timotto. He turns to you guys and says he wants to know what to tell the other kobolds. Now that the dragon's dead, they'll follow the strongest. And if the chef's anything to believe, that's Timotto.
well, in that case, he would be free to go wherever he pleases. That is, if he doesn't want to stick with us. That is at least how I see things. But I want, of course, the others to weigh in their own ideas.
I don't really feel the need to have a large kobold entourage.
Not on my list of things I want.
No.
Darius turns and says, he says they'll follow the strongest. That might mean some of them will side with that Dragonborn.
I mean,
Okay, yes,
And those ones will die.
And that is why that dragon, who has been evil to Timotto after all, who hasn't been kind to his servants, must pay the consequences. Must live with the consequences. So I would say we head up and knock him knock at his door and tell him that his raining days are over.
I have a different idea.
You have a different idea. Okay, so let's hear.
You know my idea.
Just-
Go in,
I'm
kill.
kicking the door in and I'm hitting it hard.
Yeah. That's what I meant with knocking on his door. In this case,
oh,
we're
no.
talking the same idea. In this case, we're talking the same idea.
One sec, give me one moment.
All
There
right.
you go. Okay, I'm ready and waiting. Bye, Snuggles. Have fun in the afterlife. See you soon.
Well, in that case, let's all go to the Dragonborn and tell him
Bernard
that his
wondered
days
why I'm
at...
laughing. This is the notes. This was Snuggles' skill set. Rest in peace,
Snuggles
Snuggles.
says nothing.
Oh, he is also dead.
If we bring what is left quickly enough to Temple, we might get Snuggles back.
Know more where you came from. Don't you worry.
The cheap way to get people back from the dead requires a mostly whole body and like 3 minutes wait time.
Yeah, no.
Okay, yeah.
There's
Sorry
not
to
much point
say.
left after a critical fail on a.
Okay, maybe we can
Massive
try
check.
bringing him from another plane back.
You sadly
Yeah.
look over at the spot
not
where
worth it.
Snuggles once stood, and all that remains
Huddle of Snuggles.
is the tiny pork pie hat.
Not even the wooden. Yeah, of course not.
Yeah, I was like, the poor boy hat's lucky.
Yeah, I think we all know that when this is over, the pork pie hat gets a proper burial with the wooden broom horse as,
Okay,
as
give
a grave
me the
marker.
therapy I need. Let's get it. Come on.
Okay.
Because I have some big numbers.
You got a pile of dice you want to roll.
I
Quick
have a
aside,
really big amount of piles right now.
also,
Shava, you want to join everyone?
Beevehr also puts his wooden crown on the top of Timotto's head.
So
No.
that
Yeah.
is 2d6 plus.
Okay.
Well-
Timotto and the chef are having a very heated little conversation. The chef nods rapidly and then turns and sprints down here and through the doorway.
He's going down
When-
to the kitchen.
He's
Darius-
going to say hello to people in the kitchen. We're busy.
When Darius questions Timotto, they have a quick little conversation back and forward, and Darius says, well, he's going to tell people that there's a new boss in town. So
Well,
it looks like we're not going to have any trouble from the kobolds down below.
Well,
The basement kobolds and the kobolds on the ground floor are now your allies.
in that case, we might have a small kobold army.
Oh, yeah.
Even-
I'm heading upstairs now.
All right, is everybody here? Everybody lined up?
Yes.
Oh, if they're not coming up as well, I don't care. I'm going for it.
No, we're coming.
I've got a bit of a plan up my sleeve.
He's got it coming.
He's got it coming. Da-da. He's got it coming. I should remove the
Found a
duplicate.
crit something.
Snuggles is no longer needed.
I know. I
I'm
know.
also staying in that room. It's fine.
Okay. It's everybody on the top floor.
I believe I'm kung fu fighting.
I think.
Yes, but we have two Timottos now.
Do we?
Even better.
Yes, one
Oh,
Timotto
nice.
is still standing up.
Madam came down so fast he
Oh, no,
lost
he's
his body.
disappeared.
See nothing. Okay. Before you head to the
Skirmishes.
door, Timotto quickly runs forward and starts tugging on your cloak.
On whose?
Can I
Luther's.
see through the keyhole into the other room?
Which room?
Into the room that I'm currently facing.
You'd have to roll perception. Because
Sure.
that door was closed tight when we left it last time.
Can I see through the keyhole and see the Dragonborn?
You can. Hang on, let me just
Sick.
adjust the camera.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask some rule questions here
Yeah.
All right.
because this might work the way I want it to. It might not. If it doesn't, I've got a plan B. If I
If it-
cast a spell
Yeah.
and then initiative is rolled,
Hang on, I have an
If
idea.
I have surprise round, no, actually, no, wait. No, if
Can I
I
use my-
cast a spell to be next to someone, knowing where I'm going to be, do I have surprise for the first round?
Are you trying to Misty Step beside him and get a sneak attack?
Yes.
Hang on, before you're trying to do
That's
that.
what I'm aiming for. I'm aiming for what's the phrase? The biggest fucking smite you've ever seen.
Well, yeah, but
Well, in that case,
I've got some serious rules to use here.
well, I'm giving you bardic inspiration. I know you can do this.
Oh, it's time.
So you get a bardic inspiration.
Thank you. That's 1d...
That's 1d8.
1d8. Oh, and that's my first attack roll.
You see, the thing is, if you use Misty Step, that is your spell, that is your action, so that would be
It's
your
a bonus
surprise
action
round.
and it's instantaneous, so I believe it should be able to, I would appear and be able to do something.
Alright. Okay, what are you going to do about this kobold who's pulling on your cloak?
I believe if he's holding, I'm going to ask anyone here, if he's holding, does he get moved too or not?
I don't think
No.
so. I think it's just
It's
yourself.
only on yourself.
Does someone have a key for the door?
The door is unlocked, but Timotto is frantically pulling on your cloak, and he's pointing towards this door. And he's saying a word over and over and over again.
Who speaks Draconic?
I
Darius
understand the word.
Darius,
I
what's
don't
he
need
saying?
to understand the word kobold.
He's saying-
The word is kobold.
He is basically saying, allies, allies.
Okay, I'm opening this door. I'm just going for it now. I've gone John Wick. He's killed my dog.
You open the door, and there are several kobolds in the room. Timotto
Don't.
tries to get between your legs to go into the room.
Okay, I'm going back to this door. Dragon, as a draconic speaking person, that's your job. I'm going back to prep what I'm doing.
Okay.
I'm
So,
going to rely on you guys to, you know.
As
All
I said,
kobolds.
you got this.
well, first of all, they're all glaring at Shava, who's just charged into the room.
Okay, do your thing. Do your thing. I thought we had.
Do you think that's what I thought we would already like establish this?
Yes.
Okay. Hey, I said the ground floor and the basement. These guys don't know the
These
dragon's
aren't yet.
dead yet. However, Timotto is now telling them that. He's telling him that the dragon is dead. He is telling him that the party of adventurers behind him did it. And that the Dragonborn is going to kill them all when he finds out. He's lying to them.
Oh, he's not lying to them.
So,
The Dragonborn is going to kill them.
That is a slight lie. The Dragonborn can't kill him once he's dead.
he rolled a nat 1.
Oh, fuck. We
They start
don't have allies.
Scoffing. They
Can I
can't see in the
trust you
hall, so they
guys to
don't
fight a
trust
bunch
him.
of kobolds? Because I think I've got this.
Alright. So, Timotto is going to keep trying to convince them. So he's jabbering away.
Bardic inspiration.
I used my bardic inspiration on Timotto.
How did you think of that?
So we got a
That
little
was a
inspiration.
very, very smart idea. So he can do his next attempt with an extra d8.
Okay, so this time he's going to go straight up persuasion instead of deception. And what's your thing? It's a wait.
1d8.
Okay, I'm just going to do a group
Don't
one
know
for these
what you're doing,
kobolds.
but I know you can do it. You killed the dragon. You can do it.
Alright then. Timotto sneers at them and he reaches into his pocket and he pulls out a giant tooth. None of you saw him take this, but it looks like he ripped a tooth out of the dragon's mouth. He's
Well-
now brandishing it at the other kobolds, who are suddenly starting to pay attention. He starts gesturing around, moving his arms, patting his chest and pointing over towards Darius. The other kobolds start to get riled up. They're pulling out their little daggers. They're all now paying great attention to Timotto.
Same.
Timotto is storming over to this door. The other kobolds are following him.
Darius,
I can't believe
move
this
in.
fucking
See
roll
when
worked.
Timotto is coming in.
I'm gonna start using a different dice for Timotto because I swear to fuck.
Anyway,
And my awareness is going on.
Darius, as soon as Timotto enters...
Darius
give
is
us a
turning
sign.
around and telling you guys that the kobolds are all going to attack the Dragonborn.
Well, in that case, Luther...
Considering my last perception roll, can I still see through the keyhole and see if what's going on in the room?
Yeah, the Dragonborn is just basically dicking around with some weapons.
That's Dragonborn there, right?
Yep.
Oh,
And I
right.
can,
As
and I
soon
can
as the
see
door
this space
opens,
here, and I can see the Dragonborn is next to him, right?
Yep.
as soon as the door opens, I would say that way he's completely confused. He would
As I'm
usually
looking through the keyhole, I'd like to cast Misty Step,
Okay, get in there.
and then I am here, and then as a surprise action, as you said, I'm going to try and hit him with my maul.
Go
Do
for
I
it.
get 1 hit or 2?
You get one hit.
I go 1 hit. Well, let's hope this really works, or at least be really
Make it count.
anticlimactic. So I have a maul hit, and I add 1d8. I'm really hoping I get lucky here. This is really bad times. So does a 16 hit?
A 16. I have to look up his stats.
I
Since
think
he's
it does.
surprised,
It does
I think you
not.
Don't you get
Okay,
advantage on
plan B,
surprise
boys.
targets?
He gets advantage. The target, after all, isn't expecting him.
I was like, do I get any kind of advantage because it's
That is
surprised or
true.
anything?
I will give it to you. Seeing as you Misty stepped into the room and bypassed his guard drakes. So yeah, you smash him in the back.
Okay,
for...
so I'll rephrase it. Does a 32 hit?
You hit him.
Yeah.
You smash him in the back for 8
Probably
health.
gonna regret that. Because a 24, okay, we're on 18. So, I'm gonna do everything I've not been doing this entire game just to really do some damage now. So, I'm gonna hit with my maul. My maul does 11 damage. I rolled a 2. Because I have my great weapon fighting, I rolled a 200 damage die, which means I can re-roll out 1d6. You want to get a pen and paper out. This might take a moment. Okay, 1d6, I take the new roll, which is a 5. So now I have done 5 plus 6 damage plus 3. Additionally, because there's hit and I've confirmed there's hit, I would like to use Divine Smite.
Okay.
And I'm going to use a second level slot, which means I do 3d8 radiant damage.
Roll it.
Yes, 3d8. Another 19 damage. And my
already
last
dead.
part, I believe, is... I don't have a... Do I have a bonus action or no?
You used
No.
it to teleport.
My
You
bonus
use a
action is
teleport.
that. I've got that.
Alright then.
I believe that is just about everything. Yeah. So that's
Everybody?
33 damage I've done.
Roll initiative.
Sure. Let me see on that one. I didn't click myself. I'm sorry.
Luther has
First,
a
like,
15.
forever.
I'll put
Beaver
you in a
has
sec.
an 8. I have
Sorry.
a 14, but I'm already in.
If I'm first, I don't know if they'll live another round.
Okay. And you rolled 15 on initiative.
Yep, just straight after the fellow and,
Alright.
and one of his drakes. Okay.
Okay. Is that everybody in? There's Luther, there's Barben, there's Timotto, there's Beever. We are
There's
missing...
no Darius. There's no Shava.
Yep. We're missing
Darius and
Shava.
Shava.
Oh, sorry.
Shava is Darius.
Do you want to hit us that initiative roll, please?
There you are. Ooh, Shava got 20.
Nice.
Alright.
Shava's the first.
Shava is first in the turn order.
Thank you, Shava. Very cool.
You saw Luther standing there. You saw the murderous look in his eye. He's super pissed about losing his best friend. He was there one moment, he's
Attack
gone
of
the next,
opportunity.
and in the room you hear a loud shattering thump.
Oh, the fucking drakes. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can bonus action hide, see if you can run past them as a sneak.
Nah, they're all alert because
Nah.
of your entrance.
Sad days. Sneak attack with Drake. I've got the other guy handled. You can burst that Drake down.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Fair.
Since it hasn't acted yet in combat, I have advantage, but doesn't really matter.
21's probably
Yeah, that hits. I should get the stats for them, guys.
We'll do 10 damage. Bonus action, dagger attack. Still with advantage. 14?
That does not hit the Drake.
Darn.
So you do 10 damage to that.
And I got greedy, so I didn't get my sneak attack damage.
Nah, you didn't. Okay, that's you. Next up is this guy. This guy rears around on you, and he is fucking pissed.
The fuck did you get in here?
Pretty much. He grabs a great sword that has been lying next to him. And he rolls. Does... I can't math. 17 hit you.
Meets it, beats it.
Alright.
17 AC.
So he smacks you with that. And he does... 5, 9, plus 3. He does 12 damage to you.
That's fine.
And he veers back, and he's going to do it again. And he rolls a nat 1. Hold on.
Sick. This might go really well for me then.
Low severity, so he just staggers and misses. Nothing bad happens.
Okay.
He doesn't hit the fireplace.
Not yet.
Okay.
I want that Drake to come really close to me.
That's that. Next up is Little
Is the
Drakey.
Drake.
Also, can everyone see there? There we are. The Drake barrels forward to attack you. And his stats are over here. I have so much paper on my desk right now, guys. It's not even funny. A 4. That misses you. So he doesn't bite you. Does an 18 hit you.
Yes.
So that is 1d6 plus 2. He does 3 damage to you.
Sick. Okay, I can work with that.
And now Luther is.
Yeah, it's
And now it's time to go
Luther's
Super Saiyan.
And now you go
think I'm joking.
Kamehameha. Did you use the
Kamehameha!
bardic inspiration? Did you use
Okay,
the
as a
bardic
bonus action,
inspiration?
I'm going to cast
Yeah, he did.
Thunderous Smite.
Okay,
Ooh, go
just
for it.
wanted to check.
Oh, it's time for some big numbers. I'm going to smack twice with my maul because my maul has the most dice potential and it's a two-handed weapon, so I incur my standard bonuses. Maul. Does a 12 hit? No, I'm
No.
guessing.
It does not.
Why am I rolling so many 12s? I've rolled 4 12s in a row now.
You have. It's ridiculous.
You
So
apparently
that
need a little
misses.
bit of help.
The armored dragonborn bypasses your shots and he snorts and laughs at you.
I rolled a 6 12. I've rolled 6 4 times in like the space of 10 minutes. Holy shit.
I have the feel.
guess what?
I hear him sniggering, and I think, I know what you need.
Alright, that you done, Luther?
Yeah, I'm doing math, so yeah, go for it. I think I'm done.
Okay.
Darius.
Darius hears the shenanigans, so he's gonna move into the room. He is startled by the Drake, so he's gonna move over here and he's gonna attack it with his short sword. Where is the short sword?
Probably in his inventory. If he had left it somewhere else, it
Oh,
would be
don't you be a
painful.
smart arse. That hits. And that
He
does.
used his short sword, or did he use his nice
Maximum
new
damage.
Yeah.
short sword of flame tongue?
That is true. He does have that. That
After all.
actually requires a tuning, so he can't use that.
Okay.
Now that I'm looking at it, so yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I knew there was a reason I didn't equip it to him, because it needs to be attuned. Okay. And 15. Does that hit the Drake? It does hit the Drake. And he gets 7 damage. This Drake is not happy. Barben, you're up.
I'm sorry, I was confused by something they call Discord. I step into the door, point at the big, massive idiot with his big, massive sword, also
not a
known
nice
as
way to
the
talk about Luther.
Dragonborn. Also known as the Dragonborn. Not the. I mean, it's a good thing I'm looking that way. Otherwise, Beevehr might have felt like I was trying to talk about him. And
How do you know my nickname?
I cast Vicious Mockery on him.
Alright. It needs to be the 15.
Yep.
16. He beats it.
Well, that's my attack done.
I should probably get a dice cam at some point. But anyway. Okay, so that's you. Next up
That's me.
is
That's me.
little Timotto. So, Timotto
Who's
barges
now
in
barging
this
into the
door.
room.
And this is where it gets fun. Because on Timotto's turn, he commands his kobolds. This is gonna be so fucking ridiculous. Okay, Timotto misses, but he gets advantage. Pack shot, he still misses. So he didn't get any hits with the sling. So, moving on. This guy can get up here, if I can grab him. So he gets in, and he's going to fire his sling. That's a nat 20. So he hits the Dragonborn on the head with a nat 20. And with the sling, that is 24 plus 2. That's 4 damage. Next up, this guy. He gets to here. He's going to use a sling. 16 doesn't hit. Pactex, he misses. This guy. Miss.
Conga line of kobolds.
Conga line of kobolds. They're going to pummel him. He also does 4 damage. They really didn't like him. Okay, next up. This guy. He's going to stand in the door. He's going to sling. He misses. He misses. This guy. He misses. He misses. This guy. He clambers over the top of everybody and ends up beside Shava. He's going to stab at the Drake. He hits the Drake, and his dagger does this much. He does 3 damage to the Drake.
And he's going to be lunch soon.
These two can't get a clear shot. Timotto cackles. He seems rather happy about his little kobold army. I can't fucking believe this worked. Beevehr, you're up.
Beevehr,
I believe
move
I
in
can get
and,
to the Drake.
and you're stepping into the Drake, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm standing on his tail, that's fine. And now it's time for the cleavers again, I believe.
Roll it. That
I
hits.
believe that hits.
Okay. You rear back and you slam your cleaver down as just as this Drake was reaching over to snap at your new little kobold friends, you take its head off.
Convenient.
Mm-hmm. You like your little kobold friends.
Who
You
needs
don't want them
Drake
getting
snake? Who needs Drake steak? Well,
Also, I believe I have an attack left.
You do, and you still have some movement.
Well, no, I'm gonna go over here, and I think I can hit the other Drake that way.
You can.
Okay, then I'll keep the hand axe. The cleavers.
That hits.
25, that hits, yeah.
And he does 9. Okay, minus 9. Alrighty then. Next up is that Drake, and he's dead. So back to the top of the round. Shava.
Okay.
You are currently surrounded by a group of nattering kobolds and Timotto.
I suppress the urge to just start stabbing kobolds because it's just so second nature at this point. Can I stand here?
That is on a bed.
Yeah,
You're
it
try-
is.
You're trying to get the high ground?
Yep. You clamber up on top of the bed.
Okay. Does that have any effect on my ability to hit this Drake?
No. However, if you wanted to aim a ranged attack at the Dragonborn, you would have a clear shot.
No. That's not how I roll.
Stabby, stabby.
Stabby, stabby.
13 misses.
But I'm flanking this guy because Luther's on the other side of it.
Oh, fair point. Actually, I'm very sorry I missed that. Yes, 17. You do actually hit. And you 8 damage.
So glad.
Okay, he's dead.
Oh, he's already dead?
Oh no, he's not dead. Sorry, he's not.
I want to say, if he's dead, that offhand dagger's getting thrown.
If he's dead, I've got more movement.
No, he's alive. I just miscounted.
Sad days.
It's a 4.
4 more damage.
Do. Math, I'm not my best subject. Anyway, okay. So, he's angry, he's bloodied, but he's still alive. Next up is the Dragonborn again. Okay. Bear with me a second there.
I can't tell you all the time, Luther.
You really don't need to.
The Dragonborn is first
I'm
going to
the healer.
use a bonus action
And now the Dragonborn is trying
Come on,
to
hit
ride.
me.
to
The
attempt
Drake.
to intimidate the kobolds. He fails! The kobolds rolled almost twice as much to resist him. They all start making rude gestures towards him.
Oh,
He
great.
snorts
two-finger
out
salute.
in a rage. So, the Dragonborn looks at Luther. He takes a deep breath
Hit me. Come on.
Oh no.
and
So
he
many kobolds
uses
lined up behind him.
Yeah.
his breath.
What color is he?
He is black.
Racist.
More acid.
So,
I don't care. Bring
this
it up.
line now has to make a DC to 12 dex save. So let's see.
Sorry, what was that? 12?
Yeah. First
I'm in the
kobold
mood. Got 16.
survives. Second kobold makes it. Third kobold. Jesus! What the fuck?
Kobolds compel you!
There we
There's
go.
a lot of power.
There we are.
High dex creature is fine.
Okay then. And now you
Give me a
see
number of damage.
how much damage it does. 3. So that is 7 damage. So that goes halved for anybody who managed to dodge it. So that would be 4.
Wait, no.
No.
There you go.
No, not 400.
I went from,
Yeah, 4. Rounds up.
yeah. I had 329 for a second there. That wasn't right.
Okay. These kobolds manage to duck, but they still get splattered. They're rolling around and they're crying out in pain. This kobold at the back just completely dissolves. This kobold is dead.
Oh, well.
However, this seems to piss off the rest of the kobolds.
Oh. Wait, the second to last has died?
Yeah, it didn't reach this guy.
Ah, okay. It didn't reach him.
Yeah, this guy rolled in that one.
Alright.
Alright then. So that was his breath attack. And that took up his whole turn.
Now the drakes.
Drake number 2. Drake number 2 is going to bite
the only
Shava.
drake.
Oh, rude, you hit me.
Well, Shava was the last one who poked him in the butt.
But I'm so tasty.
That misses, but pack tactics. That is worse. So he can't reach you properly because you're on the bed. You definitely jump over his claws and his maw. He misses entirely.
Bouncing on the bed. Woo.
Next up, Luther. You have yet to avenge Snuggles.
I need to check how something works. Give me a sec.
Oh no.
Alright, so I'm gonna hit with my maul twice on him. There's a 21 hit.
21 hits.
Okay, so first roll of damage.
10.
I
Alright.
rolled a damn, that's not great. So that's 10 damage plus on it. I do my thundering smite,
Mhm.
which I believe is 2d6 thunder damage.
Don't you have to cast that before you attack?
I've had that waiting. It's a concentration, and no one.
Right.
It's already
okay.
there, yeah.
Yeah, you did cast that before and didn't get a chance to
Yep.
use it.
That's another 7 damage.
Wait, when
plus
did you cast that?
It lasts for 1 minute. I cast it on the first round of combat, if you remember.
Okay, fair enough.
I think.
Okay, so 7
Someone help
damage.
me out here.
I think you cast
I
it
remember
against
you
the
talking
dragon.
About Thunder's Smite.
I think you cast it downstairs.
Okay, so
Yeah, you cast that against the
What I
dragon
had-
fight, so...
So can it be bonus action this? Swing. Let me retrieve this.
I will let you use your bonus action to cast it because it is a bonus action, but you will need to succeed on a second attack. You can't use it on that other one.
I've done 2 attacks.
Okay, so the first time you hit with a melee weapon attack during the spell's duration, so you just use a bonus action and then it lasts until you hit with it.
Sure.
It's a
Well, either way,
concentration
I might
spell,
still have,
however, that would have broken when he cast a separate spell, the Misty Walk.
No, only if he casts another concentration spell.
Isn't that a concentration?
No, Misty
No,
Step
you're
is
right,
just
it's
a
not, it's a-
instant.
That isn't.
Conjuration.
Because it's
Right, okay.
instantaneous.
Yeah, it's a V instantaneous, so it's. So is it or isn't it? I'm not sure.
Well, let's see.
Misty Step
Dice says you can.
is
Okay.
it's just a bonus action, so no. It's not a concentration.
There's not. So so then also.
Yeah, I would say it stays then. You managed to get the Thunder Smite.
I'm also gonna throw off 2d8 smite and knock myself down to 1 spell slot left.
Is Smite a bonus action?
It is a instant action. If I hit a creature with a melee weapon, I can expend a paladin spell level 2 spell slot to deal an extra 2d8 radiant damage to the target, 3d8 damage if it's undead or a fiend, plus 1d8 for every spell level higher than first, for a max of 5d8. So whenever I hit, I get to go, oh, I'll do that. So now I roll 2d8, another 9 damage, that's 9 plus 7 plus 10, so 17,
26.
Okay.
I'm hitting like a tank now. For 1 more smite left in me.
Alright, next up is Darius's turn.
Oh, sorry, he's also gonna make a if Thunder Smite went off, he's gonna make a strength save.
Ah, yeah.
DC 14.
14. What's his strength? Plus 3. 13, you say?
14.
Smack.
10 feet.
Oh, but that's more dramatic.
If you're more dramatic, I'm down for it.
So yeah,
I ain't
he's,
saying no to that.
he's now slammed against the bookcases.
Big for me.
Okay. First off, as a bonus action, Darius is going to cast Hunter's Mark on our little friend over here. And then he's going to use his longbow. Or his crossbow even, because longbows too hard long range. That hits. He does 5 piercing damage. And he also does Colossus Slayer. So let me get that first. Let me see. I need to read the thing on Colossus Slayer.
Hitting with the Colossus Slayer. Oh, Jesus.
Let's see. When you hit a creature with weapon attack, it takes an extra 1d8.
Yes.
Why do I keep losing my d8? There it is. He's an extra 5 damage. Okay. And he has his multi-attack, so he can attack again with the same weapon.
Well,
That hits. That's piercing, plus additional 5, so that's 14 damage with the Colossus Slayer. Oh wait, he also does 1d4 for the Hunter's Mark, so...
1d6 for Hunter's Mark?
1d6, sorry. 5, 7. I actually had a d6 in my hand when I said that. So,
yeah,
Okay.
the difference between
So-
a D4 and a D6.
Darius is wrecking shit, and that's his turn. Next up, Barben. Shit is going down. What are you going to do about it?
I'm going to step into the room, and well, looking at the situation, I take a pot shot at the Dragonborn who's now lying around and scrambling with my hand crossbow. I suppose 25 hits.
That hits him.
he gets 5 piercing damage. And I'm not certain if that's a bonus action. Let's see. I think I'll use... Cutting words on him.
That's your reaction, is it not?
Yeah, right. Sorry, my mistake.
Do you vicious mockery?
He already attacked with his
I
crossbow.
already
He can't
attacked,
use
so I
vicious crossbow.
can't use it. I mean,
Vicious crossbow? Vicious mockery.
I already used my vicious crossbow. I can't I wonder, can I use this? No, it's a concentration spell. It would take too much, I suspect. Enhance ability I would have used on the Dragon Slayer, that is Timotto. to basically make him the leader of the pack.
He already is the leader of the pack.
Well, in that case, no, I'm done for now.
Okay. Next up, it is Timotto's turn. Timotto is going to attack.
Timotto! Timotto!
That misses. That hits. And he's going to... I keep losing this. Okay. That is 6 damage. So, Timotto does a healthy amount of damage. Next up, before he ends his turn, he's going to move up to here.
Oh, he's going into dangerous territory.
Yep. He feels real fucking badass right now. Okay. Next up is this guy. I just basically have to go all the fucking kobolds now. That
On
hits.
yourself.
Yeah, that definitely hits. So that is...
Question is, what
6
is he
damage.
hitting?
He is
The
going
Drake
for the Dragonborn.
or the asshole?
The Dragonborn. Next up is this guy.
Ah, so he's
Yes.
hit.
That
Oh, I
hits.
suspected he'd hit.
Okay. You know, if it wasn't for the fact that I was rolling so fucking terribly with the dragon, I would say this dice was rigged. But the kobolds are rolling so fucking high.
Well,
Anyway, so
now
that's...
you know which dice you shouldn't use in the future because you've rolled out all the high values.
Okay. No, that he does 6 damage, not 2. There we are. Okay. Next up is this guy who's hurt. He's going to attack. He misses. He misses. However, he's going to slink away over here into the corner. This guy, he's feeling brave. He's going to step forward and he's going to sling. He misses. He misses. This guy comes forward. He misses. He misses. Luther's just standing there and all these stones are just slinging past his head. This guy moves into the room. And so does this guy. And he misses. He misses. Misses. Try that again because it fell off the table. Yeah, he definitely
They
misses.
all got pack tactics, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm rolling. That's why it's so hard to roll for them. Okay then. So, they've all rolled their pack tactics. They have pummeled this Dragonborn with pebbles. He is standing up. He is absolutely furious. Next up, Beevehr.
He's currently still down.
Yeah,
We're
I
not
said
back.
he's struggling to get up. So, Beevehr, you're up.
Alright, since it worked before, I'm going to turn to the second Drake with, once again, the cleavers.
Do it. 9 does not hit.
I guess I'll try again.
That hits.
Should hit. Okay.
4 damage.
I
Okay.
think Shava's going to finish it off.
Are you
Most
going to
likely.
move or anything, Beevehr? Or are you happy enough where you are?
Well, right now I can stay here.
Okay. Next up, Shava.
What does this red dot indicate?
Hunter's mark.
Okay, so he's still alive, though.
Yes, he is. His
Alright,
armor
get it,
is
Will.
dented to fuck with little pebble prints.
I'm not even gonna disengage. So
Okay,
if that
attack of opportunity
Drake
from the Drake.
wants to.
That is a 19.
I'll have that.
He gets you for 8 damage.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just tank that.
Okay.
Fine. This is fine. Oh, that was the wrong button to press. Hang on 1 second while I reload.
I'm so ready to give a bit of a lip, someone, when he's trying to use his one and only trick again.
16 does not hit.
Damn it.
It's
bonus
fine.
action.
Give me advantage.
Offhand. Fuck.
Nat 1. Roll me a percentile dice.
Right. You're now stuck in the bookcase.
Okay then. You go to stab him with your dagger, but it glances off his hard armor and thuds into the ground, just bare millimeters away from your foot. If you'd have rolled any higher, you would have stabbed yourself in the foot. But anyway, so you managed to avoid that. Next up is the Dragonborn's turn. He's gonna stand up, and he is now glaring directly at you, Shava.
I cast use cutting words.
Alright then, well,
On
we'll
him?
use that after he attempts to attack, and then we'll see what happens.
No, I can actually use it on his attack.
Oh yeah, that's
just-
what I mean. I'm gonna roll first and see what he gets, and
Yeah,
then
On
apply.
on his attack roll, I can even use it.
Yeah, but you
Yeah,
can
but-
use it after he
Yeah,
makes
but
the roll.
Still have
so
to
it
roll the
doesn't-
dice. I'm
Yeah.
actually just reading
You
cutting
don't
words
have to
now.
roll, so you'd have to waste it.
Okay then. So, do you want to do your roll? Oh Jesus.
I do not need to roll.
He's strictly speaking, he's supposed to know what the roll is so that he can make that.
It's a
decision.
nat 20.
I use cutting word.
That is a very good option, or else Shava will be eviscerated. Roll your roll a 1d8. Three.
That's a 3.
That takes away 3 points of that, so he still has a 17. Does 17 hit you, Shava?
Yes.
Alrighty then. So that was with a great sword, so he hits you for
It'd still be a crit.
3. Okay then. He hits you for 7 damage.
Even as a crit?
As a crit.
See, the
I
thing
knocked
is,
him
it
down.
brought his thing down under the crit level, so he doesn't get the crit anymore.
It
It
doesn't
basi-
matter what the number
Yeah,
is, it's just the die is a 20,
Alright.
so he...
Well,
The
in that
actual,
case,
like,
take 14 damage.
Number is lowered for if it hits or not.
Okay,
Alright.
I will use my reaction to have that.
No, you're
Well,
good.
it
This
was
is a new
worth-
round.
It
I was
wasn't
gonna
worth
give you
a
count,
shot.
but-
I basically shouted to him, "Your sisters sucked!"
He just kind of looks at you and snorts. I know! That's why I put her in the basement! Alright. So, did you take your damage, Shava?
At least he had a very good idea that she's now dead. Okay.
I know, he thought you were talking about her acting ability.
Well, that too.
You took your damage, Shava?
Yep.
Okay. He's attacking you again. I assume that 13, sorry, doesn't hit you.
That would be correct.
Okay then. So he misses you with the second one. He's too busy shouting back at Barben, and he misses you a bit. Okay, and he has
Never
no
knew
more...
he spoke my language.
Okay. He is going to use his last thing now. Okay. You see him
wonder-
roll his shoulders, and he lifts his arm up in front of him. You see that he's up to something, but you don't know just what. Next up is our little Drakey. Our little Drakey boy is going to bite at Barben.
charging.
Not Barben, Beevehr.
Barben,
Wow.
Beevehr, both played by Germans.
Pretty much, yeah.
Developer.
19 hits you?
Oh yes.
Ah, yes. Alright then. I have lost the Drake stats. Fucking tattoo these to my arm in a minute. 1d8.
You can skip me get and hit if you want.
Oh, Jesus, of course. He rolls you with a 4 damage, and then a second attack. He misses because he doesn't have pack tactics, because his boss is all the way across the room.
That's not so bad.
Because that's so bad. Next up is the very pissed off Paladin of Vengeance.
Okay, 5, 10, 20 feet. I'll take this opportunity. I don't care.
Alright then. He rolls a 5. He misses you.
Does not hit. I'm too busy. I'm gonna take 2 swings of a maul.
Alright.
9.
Misses.
No. Do I get advantage because I'm
You get advantage because murder
6?
sandwich.
15 hit.
That is true. 15 does not hit. However, 23
As I was saying, a
does.
23 probably does. So, maul, a 6 and a 3 and a 3. Cool, 12 damage. I'm going to smite him again with my last spell slot. 2d8. If I just check it, want to make sure. Yeah, 2d8 radiant damage. Bump. Wow.
Alright. You see this armoured battle turtle of a dragonborn turns towards you. He had his gauntlet up that had a small bracer on it. He lifts his arm to catch your maul, and you can see a really confident smirk on his face as he prepares to parry your blow off. However, it's a lot stronger than he was anticipated. Your absolute fury breaks through his additional defense and cracks him on the head. The dragonborn face plants into the ground and doesn't move.
Well, the only
Might
thing
free
left
up
is now.
damage. I've got a tweet from Mike Mole saying that that my ability great weapon fighting applies to smite. I'm just seeing if it does or not. I don't believe it does, but
No, it doesn't.
I don't think it
checked-
should, because it should be extra damage, not the weapon damage.
Yeah, I checked that previously for my multi-class fighter paladin that can smite 6 times a turn.
So,
And-
yeah,
Someone
just to
has
let you know,
optimized this character.
the reason he looked so confident and lifted his gauntlet is he used his bonus action to essentially go into a defensive stance, which raised his AC to 22. You got him for that by
Big boy
1.
numbers.
So he buffed his defense like a good little battle turtle, and you just smashed him. Alright.
Here's
So,
now a dead little.
Damage. Damn, it's not bad.
So
Now we
that's-
still have to deal with a Drake.
yeah. So it's Darius's turn. Now that his hunter mark is moved away, he sees the Drake is pretty badly hurt, so
Where?
he's just going to stab it with a sword.
Who was looking at me?
That was me. I missed you. I missed clicking Darius.
She missed you.
Oh, are you getting a little? Do you not like me touching you up there, Barben? I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you.
Are you bothered yet?
All right. So,
You've been touched by God.
Darius leans over behind Beevehr while the Drake is distracted with the large barbarian and shoves his
With who?
dagger.
With the bard?
Barbarian.
Oh, I thought so.
At the large barbarian and shoves his sword right into the soft parts of the scales in his neck. The Drake slumps over. He's dead.
Well, that means we now have a bad.
The kobolds all chitter and cheer. This guy runs over and starts kicking the dragonborn.
Oh, yeah, rightfully so.
Can Darius ask the kobolds if they've seen anything that looks like a family tree?
Okay.
Or like a scroll tube?
He goes over and tries to describe what you're looking for to Timotto and the rest of the kobolds.
A
Let's see how
scroll with a lot of
smart.
names.
Let's see how smart they are. Oh, these guys are dumb as rocks.
Robot, where are you?
Oh, here we go. This guy over here, he kind of scratches his chin and then turns and chitters to this guy, who chitters to this guy, who then shouts over to Timotto. And Timotto nods and then turns to Darius. And he points towards the door. This way! This way!
Okay. I think we should follow. After we've Luther, would you mind checking what the Dragonborn had on him?
I'll keep an eye on Timotto while you do that.
Sure. Perception or what?
Sure, roll me a perception check. 7. You see nothing except for the burning
Shava
rage.
look through the body. To a point where I'm not going to let anyone look through the body unless it's Shava.
I mean,
I'm not the most perceptive one in the party.
Shava has been
You're a
someone who...
rogue!
Shava I've seen things that Shava missed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I don't have super high wisdom.
You
Down
see
in the
nothing
cellar.
but the burning rage of your anger and loss.
Well, I think maybe should I take a look at him, or would I find nothing because everything's
Did you
smashed
roll
to pulp.
for? You can have a look, yeah.
Let me take a perception check. Let's see. Well, that's 21. That sounds pretty good.
All right. You manage to look around the angry paladin, and you'll
the
see that the kobold is tugging at his belt and dumps out a coin purse. Roughly 200 silver pieces scattered to the ground, and the kobold starts shimmying through it. He grabs a very shiny rock and jumps up and holds it up triumphantly to the other kobolds. They all chitter and laugh.
I take the 200 silver pieces for now.
Okay. This little kobold runs away with what looked like a fist-sized ruby.
Well, I think we can let him have this. Nothing else, though, that I could see. After all, Luther had turned him into a bit of pulp.
What we're gonna do first is we're gonna get Luther to roll a percentile dice.
Okay.
Okay.
Advanced dice roller. Roll me 1d100. Hey.
Alright then. You look down and scan the rest of the belt as you see a strange liquid pulling onto the dragonborn. On his belt was 2 potions. However, in the violence of the Luther's killing blow and his earlier thunder strike, both potions have been smashed.
I take it one of them was a potion of healing.
You can't tell. They've mixed with the dragonborn's blood. You can't even tell what the original colour was.
I suspect because she had a potion of healing, so it's likely he had one too.
No, it's a potion of disgusting.
Well, she maybe it's a potion of anything. Yeah, let me take a quick look into the bookcase here. Maybe I find an interesting book.
Okay.
And that's a 21.
The bookshelves have been mostly cleared of books, except for the lower shelf. And you can see that they have been replaced with several daggers and long swords. This dragonborn has been using them for a trophy cabinet, as on the top shelf there is a line of helmets ranging from leather to metal. Each of them bears severe battle damage.
Found
This was the
trophy
dragonborn's trophy collection. Yep.
I take it none of the weapons are in any usable state anymore.
None of them are.
Yeah.
They're all damaged and broken. You can
I
tell
suspect so.
this dragonborn took pride in breaking those he fought.
What a dick.
Oh yeah, he was a massive asshole.
Your words, not mine, but yes. And I'm fairly certain that I wouldn't be able to lift up whatever is lying under the drake.
That is just more scattered, broken weapons and armor.
I thought he had a very big hammer. Basically
He does.
lying here.
It's it is far too big for you to lift. That looks like something a giant would wield.
What?
It's a hammer of +7 carpentry.
That thing is 8 feet long.
Well,
I'm down for it.
well, someone can use it. And
It's
even if
it's even moving a barbarian. I'm down for that shit.
well, in that case, you two do some Rochambeau about it.
If you want to try and lift that, I'm going to need you to roll a strength check.
Surely, if I'm using a weapon, it'd be my passive strength, not my a single strength check forever.
Well, first off, you have to get it out from under the thing. But first we have to see if you can actually lift the damn
Sure,
thing.
21.
Yeah, you struggle and strain, but you manage to lift the giant weapon up. However, the weight is so heavy, you feel like you could not physically wield this in any sort of
Not even with
combat.
disadvantage.
No, it is far too heavy. It is taking literally all your strength just to lift this off the ground.
This is
I
not
asked
Final
Beevehr to
Fantasy.
help me. I just want to try something.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
I just want Beevehr to help me drag it somewhere.
It's part of the map texture.
Well,
For purely RP reasons.
Alright then.
only RP reasons. You want a battering ram.
Kind of.
Because
If
that's
we
what,
set it down, I have to re-roll it.
I would say with your 21 strength and with Beevehr assisting you with his passive strength, you can successfully
I'd
drag
say,
it.
Beevehr, what's your
Okay.
passive strength?
Yeah,
It's the larger two numbers.
17.
Yeah, same. So that's 34 between us.
Alright, so the two of you can lift this
So,
and move it.
Okay,
But
that's good
it's
to know.
hard
I might need
going.
it a bit.
it's going to be difficult pulling it down the stairs.
Oh, it's not going to be needed to go down the stairs.
Oh,
Wait.
you want to throw it over the over the balcony?
You'll see.
Okay.
Well, you're
I'm
gonna
just-
have to tell
I'm
us
just
what you're gonna do
storing
with it.
that- I'm just for a bit of knowledge, just in case it's needed for something in a bit. Carry on.
So, are you actually carrying this, shuffling along, or...?
I would like to steal Beevehr and wait for it the right time, because I feel like it might be needed for something in a bit. Just carry on, everyone.
I have the feeling we don't need it. I mean, the master of the house is down. The two second in command are down. I mean,
Just you wait.
there's nothing I would expect here. At least here.
Okay.
Luther, hey, Luther,
Yeah?
can you even lift, bro?
I point out the fact that I have already been holding this out without him. Actually, you know what? I'm going to let go of the hammer and let Beevehr just hold it by himself.
Do a strength save, Beevehr. 15! You
Nice.
just managed to hold on to it, but it starts to grind on the ground.
Well,
I put my hands back on. I hope.
well, I mean, I wouldn't be able to help you with my 8 strength.
Quite literally, this thing is like a foot taller than any of you. Even
I look at the two
even
of
the
them and
mall
basically shake my
itself
head
is
wondering.
like 4 feet wide.
So, while we are having the contest of the two strongmen over here,
This is a two-handed weapon for a giant.
what
It's a
what is
forehand
happening?
with thrust.
What is happening in the former office of the
Okay.
idiot?
Timotto has run into the room and he starts looking around and scratching his little head and shrugs. Darius translates to say he saw something like that in here before, but that was a long time ago.
Let's search the writing desk. I'm not sure we searched this room thoroughly when we were here.
You did not, no.
we?
Luther
well, let's-
yeeted through the hole in the wall and you all followed him.
Yeah.
Well, we did check.
Alright.
Quickly, but
You
Anything locked?
You just glance over the table and you notice right there, propped up against other books is a thick scroll tube wearing the family crest.
Oh, great. If it's
I'll take a
not-
peek
I mean,
inside to see if it's what we're after.
Alright, you pop it open and you tip it out and you find a perfectly preserved family tree. You have
not
found
the
the item you're looking
archivist's
for.
copy,
It is not an archivist copy.
because that's what I have.
You have found the original.
Broken, if you remember, or damaged in some way.
It is. It is
Yeah,
shredded.
but I still have the seal and the tube, just in case. Just in case I need 2 copper.
Okay, well, I'll put it back away. This is what we were looking for.
Well,
I think it's time to get out of here.
well, the
Yeah.
question is what awaits us. I mean,
Well, as it stands, the Dragonborns are dead. The dragon
Yes.
is dead. And
Yes.
you have a small army of kobolds who have sworn allegiance to Timotto, who is your stalwart ally.
Okay, so I think we need to explain to Timotto that somebody else owns this place, and they're either going to have to work for that guy if that guy is cool with that, which is a big question mark. or-
I think between the 2 of us, Shava, we can persuade him. I mean, otherwise, he's not going to get this place back to himself. By the way, I believe we can close the turn order.
Oh yeah, sorry. Go away.
or they need to leave and find greener pastures. One or the other.
Well,
Alright.
maybe some of them might actually be suitable to work in a troop.
If you want to drag them along with you to work in a troop, then sure.
The question, I mean, Timotto's sworn allegiance to Darius, not me. So it's ultimately his decision, not mine.
Alright. He's basically going to see if he can persuade that he needs them to leave the mansion.
No, that's not gonna work.
Yeah, Timotto rolled a 9. Timotto doesn't feel that they should leave. They earned this place. They fought for it. They want to be free now. They should be able to live where they want to live.
Damn it.
Darius kind of looks at you guys. He doesn't know what to say.
We don't get paid if they stay here.
True.
Look, Timotto, I don't know if you can understand me. I'm fairly certain you don't really understand me. But if you stay here, others will come that will threaten you, that will kill you, that will not care whether
Okay.
you live or die. So it is of utmost importance that you leave. I
Okay.
know that there are wonderful places out there where you and those who are living here can not only survive but thrive. I hope that you understand what I'm trying to tell you. What is it? Is it it's not perception, it's not intimidation, it's persuasion.
Roll persuasion because Darius has been translating directly for you.
That's a 19.
Alright, and is it? Yeah, he totally believes you. You see
He
Timotto
totally-
just kind of rubbing his little chin. He doesn't know what to do. So he starts scampering over here to this bookcase and starts pulling out the books. He opens them and flicks through them and then tosses them over his shoulder until finally he finds what he wants and comes running back over to you. In his hand is a map. A book of maps.
You want to go there?
He's talking to Darius, and then Darius turns to you and says he wants to know where is safe for him to go.
Okay. Do I know a place? I probably don't. No, Even though I'm a traveled bard, so I should know a lot of places.
I would say roll an intelligence with advantage with your bardic knowledge.
So, a straight up intelligence check.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a 16 with the advantage.
16. You think you remember that a little bit to the east is unpopulated land because of the thick, the rocky terrain, which is unsuitable for farmland, so it has been mostly abandoned. However, you do know that there is a lot of caves up there. It's about 4 days' travel to the east.
I think I do know a place where you will be safe, yes.
As
It
Darius
is-
translates, you see Timotto's ears just kind of perk up. He looks very excited.
It is about 4 days away from here. And it will be not necessarily the easiest trek. But I am certain that in those caves, down far in the south, and I pointed out on the map, that there you will find a place that you all can call home, without us bringing harm to you.
Okay. As Darius translates for you, Timotto starts nodding. He scurries off.
And
apparently
suddenly it's
explodes.
got big,
He scurries off.
If you need any
Oh
gold,
my god. Into the next room.
I'm fairly certain you can help yourself out down there.
To an
Alright.
extent.
So Timotto runs into the next room and starts chittering to the other kobolds. The
I'm
other
fairly
kobolds look concerned. Some look excited. Others look absolutely gleeful. As this mixture of different coloured scaled kobolds start looking around and just start... You see their ears are just all perking up, their big smiles, and they start running about. This guy starts digging into this chest and starts pulling out clothing. These two, they run into the next room, and you can see them start to rummage in cupboards and start pulling out other little items of clothing and small bags. These three run off downstairs. I'm just gonna, if I can actually get a howl of the wee bastards. They all run off downstairs. You can tell that they're starting to prepare for the journey.
Okay, that works for me. Let's go and grab as much gold as we can carry,
And then we're leaving.
and go get the relatively minor reward for the job well.
Well, we know that others have been offered more. So we
And
can.
I believe someone has proof of that.
Yeah, yes.
Shava, I
does.
believe, holds a scroll, basically the notice of more money,
Yeah,
and we can use that to our advantage, I believe.
You guys,
So
before
we're
we,
going to
before
team
we,
up with a group who was offered the most money we found. We're going to take as much gold as we can and inform him that there is a large pile of gold there and he can owe us.
Okay.
you guys, before we go, I would like to talk to that cook.
Sure.
Okay.
Knock yourself
For
out.
simplicity's sake, the cook is here. He's barking orders to a number of different kobolds who are running around the area. It looks like they all have little satchels on their backs as they are running in and out of the ballroom with meat cleavers. They are butchering the dragon.
Well, waste not, what not.
So, I'm sure you have a name, and,
Chef!
yes, chef, that is very, very succinct. I've had some of that stew you had in that one room up there, and it was amazing. And I know you have a discerning taste for honey. Now, we've always had some trouble with, you guys, is Draconica slur?
Yes, I believe it might be.
It's no, it's just what they are.
Okay, we've always had, some trouble reaching the draconically, minded, markets, and we've been looking for someone to help us come up with new and exciting honey products for, the kind of people that you are such an amazing part of, and I would like to offer you and your staff to, come to Helianthus Valley to, help out the honey production in that regard. And, I'm the son of the chief of our tribe, Bebop, and together with him and my grandfather, Beevehr, I'm sure we can work something out. And
Finally got that idea, got that joke.
So, the little chef looks up at you, and then looks over to Timotto. Is that like, safe place for us? No harm?
yes, it's very safe, and it's quite cozy too, and I believe we also have some darker facilities if you prefer those.
Home
And
for all?
Just, please say yes, I'm running out of big words.
Home for all? Many kobolds need home.
Yes,
If I may interject, what my friend is suggesting that you work for him as a partner, not as a servant. So you work in his homestead where it is safe, and you make honey, and you can show the world what a wonderful chef you are. Chef.
that's the thing. That's he.
The chef looks over at you, Barben, and says,
Yes, I got that, but I want to know if all of us can come.
Beevehr?
But if we expand our reach with the market and
I do
I'm
believe
going
it.
to have to talk to Grandpa, but we did want to build a new factory, and we're going to need a lot of workers there.
I believe he said, as I understand it, he pretty much said yes. He might need to persuade someone, but knowing if he tastes your stew, I'm certain he will allow all of you in.
Yeah, and besides, my mom Beatrice can pretty much talk them into anything. I'm sure it's fine.
okay. The chef
we found
nods.
So we found a place for the kobolds?
He turns and starts chittering to Timotto. Timotto seems real confused. He brings out his little atlas and starts prodding at the map, but the chef has pulled out the order form again and starts prodding at the logo on the order form. And the two of them are just having this little conversation. And eventually they seem to reach a Discord. And Chef turns to you, and Timotto turns to you, and Chef goes,
We come to you. Where go?
That is wonderful.
So they've come to an agreement.
yeah, the kobolds are
Okay.
prepared to go to Beevehr's homestead. They just need to know where it is.
All right, Beevehr, you know the way to there. So if
Yes,
you be so
absolutely.
kind, you can show them on the map if that works for you.
Definitely, and of course the address is also on the order form, and of course we actually I have this pamphlet here. There's a plan on how to reach the factory for guided tours. You can just follow that.
Okay then. So,
I don't know whether or not Beevehr's to play on the game this time again.
Chef nods and he holds out his little hand towards you.
Beevehr, I believe he wants you to give him your hand on it.
And
Not as in not give him your hand by chopping it off, but basically
In
signing
marriage,
a deal.
it's the only way to sign the deal.
Beevehr reaches out and, being the large, strong barbarian that he is, shakes the entire kobold.
Okay. Chef staggers off his feet, but he seems to find it hilarious.
Well, I think we should then make certain that we have a bit of the action, as they put it. Timotto, yes, is there anything?
Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
As I said, I think we should have our piece of the action now. But then you turn Timotto towards us, so is there anything the matter, Timotto?
No, they're just chittering now about the logistics of moving their clan, because there's about 20 plus kobolds still under the mansion.
I mean, I presume I could put a few of them on my wagon and bring them to the factory.
Oh no, it'll take them a few days to get everything ready for their move. So
Oh yeah.
the chef explains to you that it'll take them a little while to gather their things, to make sure everyone is prepared and equipped for the journey, but they will make their way there in a day or two.
They also have some large, juicy rations.
Yeah.
The chef laughs and points at a kobold who's currently running past him, holding a large bloody chunk of dragon.
Beevehr, you're a comedian.
We're good for food for a while.
Very save me some of that. I already pre-roasted that shoulder.
Alright, the chef turns and he bellows at a little kobold who's running past, and the little kobold comes over and just hands you a giant shank of dragon meat, and then runs back.
Roasted dragon shoulder?
Oh, it's all raw. It's all raw.
I
They
mean,
haven't
slightly
actually cooked
roasted.
it yet.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's pretty juicy in the middle, but still.
A nice rare dragon
Anyway,
steak.
we should probably get her, as I said before, we should get at least a bit of the money. I mean, it's not like the dragon has any need for it anymore.
I'm going with as much money as we can carry.
So if you are done here, I would to follow me just so that we can carry some of the dragon out of here.
Okay. So you guys are heading into the ballroom to take some
Yeah, we're
trophies
heading
from the dragon?
into the vault.
Okay.
And now it's the vault. Previously it was the big ballroom. Now it's basically just the vault.
Alright, you leave Timotto and Chef having full-scale conversations in the hall. As you're in here, there are two little kobolds who I'm not going to pull over because I'm lazy.
Yeah.
Actually, I will. Hang on. No, I don't want all of them. I just want two.
Should have stayed lazy.
Yeah.
Let
There
me
are two
guess.
little kobolds
They're by the dragon.
clambering around the dragon with big cleavers and sharp knives, and they're basically divvying up the meat and cutting off the scales. There is a nice little roll of dragon hide here on the ground next to them.
That would be something Darius would be more interested in, I believe.
Yeah. Alright. Darius is going to talk to them and see if he can persuade them to give up some of their...
Do I need to give him the
Oh,
last
yes.
bardic inspiration?
No, he persuades them right enough. The little kobold seems quite happy to give Darius half the dragon scales he's cut off. So Darius has 10 pounds of black dragon scale.
Well, that's gonna be a bit of money in the market.
Oh, yes.
Well, I had found 20k of gold pieces, I believe, early on. 20,000. I wonder
Did anyone not do a search in the treasure pile?
I think I missed it.
Okay. Do
Yeah.
you want to have a search in there now?
Well, let's give it a quick
Roll a
perception.
d6.
I mean, you can now pretty much look into it, and now we're only interested in what special thing do you find?
Pretty much.
I believe we
Alrighty
had
then.
the 4. Didn't we have 4 already?
You did have the 4 before. That was the flame tongue weapon. So you want to give that another roll?
Alright.
We had that one too.
That's the room of flying.
Alright, how about
Yep.
That's the room of flying again?
choose
Let's take
2
the
or
2.
5?
Hmm?
Pick 2 or 5.
2.
2. You get an ornate scale mail set of armor.
Neato.
It is +1 to AC. It's rather ornate looking, but it is still functional.
I shall equip that if I can.
You're a barbarian, so you may lose some of your natural armor, but you don't have that yet. But anyway, it's the end of the adventure. Go ahead. You look fabulous with.
Ooh, ah.
He
I was gonna
doesn't
say
have the-
with your little
He doesn't
crown,
have
but-
the wooden crown anymore, but
Yeah.
he
Timotto has
gave
that.
that to Timotto.
Mm-hmm.
I am once again fancy.
Yes, that you are, and to be honest, you're fancier than what she dressed you up in. I can't even words now. We
Alright.
got a dragon down. I mean, that I got to live through such an encounter.
Okay. So, between the lot of you managed to scoop up a large amount of gold.
Yes,
How
I
much
had,
is a large amount?
I had 20k. I presume everyone got about 20k.
Well, it was 20k
Probably
split
that.
between you, yeah.
All right,
that was the
so
whole-
let me calculate that in my head. Roughly 4,000 per.
That's a lot of gold.
I'm just looking at Lucy here. She's just
lot of gold.
face planted into the pillow.
Well, no, it's not. 20,000 divided by 6. Maths.
Oh, there's 6 of us, because... No, there's not.
That's 5.
Of course there is. Darius.
Darius is the 5th.
5.
Yeah, I was giving Snuggles money.
It's probably a good idea to actually divide by 6.
Who's the 6th part go to?
Me.
It stays.
Yeah, it's
That's a
the
good point.
part
Or
that
we
the...
conveniently bury it somewhere because I'm
Okay.
not going to let the Lord have it.
Or you could leave it to the kobolds.
That's very good.
Yeah, give it to kobolds, that's good. Mate.
Okay, 20k divided.
Get them out of everyone's hair.
Exactly.
So we all
Maybe-
take 3,300 and leave the rest.
Yeah, if I can carry that much.
Yeah,
how much
it's-
does the
Let me work this
character
out.
sheet
Gonna weigh
calculates?
you down a little bit, but yeah.
Great.
I have
It's-
overcarrying capacity. I now
80
have
pounds of gold.
a total weight of 156.67.
You can carry
Ah.
that.
I'm over carrying capacity.
What's my...
I'm not.
Yeah,
Where do you see that?
it says when you enter the amount, I added the 33,000,
I'm at
3,300,
203 total weight.
and with me it says below that it says over carrying capacity.
Oh, mine doesn't. Give me a sec, I'm gonna just throw in,
Well, you're a lot stronger too.
yeah.
Yeah,
Wait.
just put a few studded leather armors who are 13 each or something.
Aren't you carrying
put
like
some-
2 sets of armor as well?
Oh, yeah. That was cool. Yeah, I don't have that issue.
Yeah, I do. Fortunately, the carriage should be around somewhere, so I probably need to do a strength check to carry this much.
I don't think you can...
You don't
even
need
with
to.
half
You're only
speed.
slightly encumbered, so you move slowly, but you can still move. It would only really
Oh,
be an
so
issue
I'm
if
down
you're
to
getting
half my
combat.
speed. Okay.
Just avoid combat.
Pretty
Yeah.
much.
Whatever you do, avoid combat.
If you get in combat, just drop all your money on the floor first.
And then wait until everyone... Or throw money around. Bags of money.
Okay.
What's next?
So what do?
What do you do?
I think we're going to go report success.
Okay.
Believe so.
Yeah.
If you are all ready to leave, you can head towards the entrance hall.
Me.
Okay.
I was hoping
So-
they won't do it.
And Darius is flying by me. I'm role-playing the heavy stuff, okay? Thank you.
Shava's just kind of blending into the floor there. Just gonna make it easier for you to see. Okay then. So, you are all getting prepared to leave. Darius goes over to say goodbye to Timotto and little Chef. Chef shouts a fond farewell to to Beevehr, as Beevehr goes past.
Beevehr waves one more time.
Timotto goes and stands next to Darius and nods up at him. He starts muttering, and Darius at first shakes his head and responds. You can hear exasperation in his voice, but Timotto is snapping back. He's adamant. He wants something, and he's not going to get away with it. He's not going to give up on it. So he's going to roll a nat 20, 19 even, persuasion. And let's see, how likely is Darius to go for this? He rolls persuasion, he rolls an
So
insight.
Darius is going to...
Oh, that one. This kobold
Why is
hasn't
he
memorized it.
proposing?
Alright then.
I don't
Darius nods, and Timotto looks real fucking happy. So he sprints over to Chef and gives him a slap on the back. Chef returns the gesture, and Timotto gets ready to set out with his new adventuring party. Timotto's coming with you.
Oh yeah.
He's leaving Chef in charge.
We have a sidekick.
Well, it's the end of the module,
Mm-hmm.
pretty much.
Pretty much.
So,
This could have gone
That
either
part-
way, to be honest. If you hadn't have been as kind to Timotto, he would have told you just to fuck off. He was gonna lead the thing, but he grew attached to you guys because you looked after him and you
Oh,
were
that's
nice
the
to
right
him.
move on his
Terrible
part.
mistake.
Thus began the tale of Timotto the Traveler.
Pretty much. He's
Timotto
becoming an
the
adventuring
Mighty.
kobold. He's going to go off and become an adventuring kobold. So,
and he will have songs written by bards to his name.
mhm.
And kobolds will follow in his footsteps.
Okay then. So,
And he will change kobold society. Well, not really, but he believes he does.
In some places, his name will be localized as David.
alright then. So,
I didn't know the bloke up there had a nameplate saying Goliath.
So-
Nobody says he didn't.
True.
you all walk out of the house, except for Barben, who just kind of shuffles. And you stand outside and you take a deep breath of fresh air. The first you have smelt in 2 days. You look around at the great garden and you realise to yourself, we fucking did it. You all pile into the carriage after a short walk to the edge of the property and set off back towards the capital town. It takes 2 days to get there. You're rested, but still bear a few scars, physical and emotional, from your encounter in the house. You're waiting in the hallways of the royal court, where the Lord Darius Farharden V has been seeking shelter from the king while he awaited your return. You are now in the abandoned audience chamber. The king's throne sits empty. 2 guards stand next to it, and pacing the hall is Darius Farharden. Demas Farharden. What do you do?
Hi, Farty!
Oh, you came back. Did you do what I wanted you to do? He looks genuinely surprised that you have returned.
Well, you could have told us that a dragon had taken residence up there, but yes.
Dragon?
have done
Don't be
I
ridiculous.
want to make an inside check, see if you knew if a dragon was there.
Where is this?
I felt-
Don't be ridiculous. There were no dragons.
Oh,
Yeah,
trust
inside
me.
check.
Yeah, roll it while I find his stats. Where the fuck are his stats?
That's a thick number. Oh,
There he is. Okay. That's wisdom. Oh yeah, he is lying through his fucking teeth.
sick. Okay, so I'm assuming we had a long rest since then, and we're at points.
You
and,
did.
Do you really,
Oh, sick.
do you really want to smite him?
You are in the king's palace.
Don't do it.
This
I
man
have
is a guest of the
better
king.
idea.
Yeah. Do you know Zone of Truth?
I am looking. I don't have it. I'm guessing I'm not allowed to change spells because they're not on the pre-made sheet. Because if they were, I have a lot of regrets. Because
I would say okay.
Well, paladins don't get to choose their spells. It depends on
Yeah.
what subclass they are. So
Yeah.
However,
all the spells
you
there
would
are-
have need to have
I
done
wouldn't
it
have known to have
before
been doing it.
coming in.
I just
So
want to know if I could have done it in future. Because Zone of Truth is a level. Oh my god. Yeah, I can learn it at a second level, and I believe I have second level spell slots. So yeah, that's just annoying. Paladin isn't
Alright.
that learns that.
So he's mopping his brow. He's denying that he knew the existence of the dragon.
Or
He,
you could have
uh,
told us how many adventurers went in before us and didn't return.
Oh well, there's one group I sent before, but they didn't even make it to the house, as far as I know. They
Or
took
you
my
could have
money
told
and
us.
stayed in a brothel.
Well, one of them they had taken as food.
What? What are you talking
Yes.
about? Don't be ridiculous.
Did you have someone there who had brown hair, was rather slim? I believe, and another group came there.
Oh, all you adventurers look alike. Now, did you get what I need?
I would like to. 1 second. I need to look at it actually right. I'm detecting evil, but I don't think detecting works the way I want it to.
It doesn't. It totally
Oh, it's
doesn't.
so shit, man.
Well,
If you want, I'll let you roll a straight up insight on him.
We
for
already
that.
did that.
Can I use my divine sense?
Sure.
Because then I can sense whether he is a strong evil or a powerful good.
Mhm.
I can also tell whether if anyone is 60 feet of me with it.
I have the feeling that he's a lawful evil.
Celestial fiend or undead.
I fairly doubt that. I mean, he does smell quite good.
Is he pretty evil? Or am I not getting any pings on my radar?
You get 2 pings on your radar. Neither of
Just
them
like
are the
that?
noble. One of which
Wait, what?
are 2 strong, good characters elsewhere in the castle. This guy is just an asshole.
So I get two big good pings and an asshole ping. Okay, sick.
Pretty
you
much.
don't- you
He's
don't
not
get a
necessarily
nothing.
evil, he's just
But
selfish.
He just seems to be an asshole of some description. Okay, sick.
He's at the very
Do you
best
say that out
lawful
loud?
neutral.
I'm gonna just how do I put it in words? Sorry, I really struggle with English sometimes.
Says the native English speaker to
Yes.
the 2 Germans in the party.
That's not exactly true. English is my second language, but I'll take it. I live in
Really?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
What's the effect you're going for here? What do you want? out of
I'm trying to word an intimidation, but I don't know the best way of doing it.
I didn't catch that.
I'm trying to figure a way of explaining via intimidation that I'm aware of the shady shit he's doing.
Do you need bardic inspiration? I mean,
Yes,
I mean,
yes,
I've got
I
it.
do.
Okay,
I
you can have a
definitely do.
Look, we all know that he's up to some shit. You know this as well as I do. So, go.
I'm going to attempt to provide advantage to this intimidation. My assistance
Again?
is going to be that I'm going to get out the other party's offer letter that we recovered and just start reading it theatrically. Not like out loud.
Don't you
but just...
want me to read it?
No, I'm not reading it out loud. I'm just making a big
I have a
show
really
of
good idea
I
now.
have it out.
Okay.
So as you're reading it, I reach into my backpack and pull out the wooden prop horse. And then I use the pointy end, not the horse end, I hold it by the horse head end, and point at it while explaining along the lines of, we are very aware that you've been working with the dragon.
That's ridiculous!
As a side note, I got 20 plus.
Alright, let's see. How does
Plus
he
your
stack
I
up
got
D8.
against this?
27 with advantage. 27
Oh,
with advantage,
fuck
25
no.
with advantage.
Okay,
25
so
plus 7 is 32. So I've got a 32 on intimidation.
several things happen in quick succession. The guards, seeing you point something at the noble, have suddenly stood up at attention. A few more from the door have started to step forward. One of the guards asked, "Everything going on now? Everything alright over here, my lord?" And the noble just kind of,
I
they're
interrupt.
accusing
I
me
say,
of
"Yes,
horrible
everything's
things.
fine."
You see he is absolutely shitting bullets. He is terrified of you. He's like, look, I didn't know it was that big. I thought it was just the little ones. Here! He starts rummaging through his pockets and he pulls out several bags and he throws them at you. They contain cold coins. Look,
So you think
I
you can
appreciate
purchase
the
our-
work you've done for me, but I've paid you what you owed. What I owe you, so you give me what I paid you to find.
Did you know that?
I take the bag of coins and I throw them back at him.
Ow! What did you do that for?
Coin won't save your soul.
I take the bag of coin that he threw at me and keep it.
Whatever.
That's our Shava.
The
Do
most
you
rookie
have
rogue to ever
what
rogue.
I wanted or not?
You will get it when you act as any decent ruler should.
You'll get it once you answer for your crimes.
What crimes? I paid you to do a
You-
job.
You?
It's not my fault you came across something you couldn't handle.
Oh, we could handle it very
I handled
well.
it.
Yes, well then, you appear to have worked out fine then.
Others
Well.
didn't. Knowing these sending their deaths is very sinful.
Well, to be fair, I didn't know it was there until the third group.
The third group.
Which group were we then?
Oh, he counts on his fingers. The ninth, maybe.
I think I should.
Does the brothel
probably-
group count? Because they're in the dungeons right now. Because if they count, then 10.
You have sent what could otherwise be considered a legion down there to die.
Sorry, I pressed the wrong button.
Are you even aware that people and families exist, or do they only exist as your pitiful playthings?
They were soldiers of fortune. They knew what they signed up for. It's not my fault if they die. Okay,
People like
what is
you
everyone's
make me
passive
sick.
perception?
Before we do this, can I ask if I can try something?
What are you attempting to do?
I got a 14 on passive perception.
I'm debating something in my head. Like, this could be a terrible idea or a brilliant idea, and I don't know which.
13
Okay.
passive perception.
Does anybody have over 16?
ETP.
Yeah.
ETP does. I don't. I need to read on a rule. Just get back to me. It's fine.
Okay. Shava, while your friends are basically scolding this arrogant noble, you get a prickling sensation at the back of your neck. You turn and glance up to the top of the hall, and you see that several more guards have entered the room. And in the middle of these guards appears to be a man dressed in royal finery, and he is currently scowling down at what he sees.
Will you inform someone?
I think I'm going to nudge Barden and probably Barden and Luther and like nod up towards there to try to get their attention to it.
Luther, do you look?
I'll have a look.
You look at this
I'll
man,
look as well.
and as you still have your aura active, you recognize this as one of the strong, lawful good instances you felt before.
Sick. Do I recognize him personally, or is he just the aura
Yes.
I'm seeing? He's like the only
This is the
one?
king.
Oh, sick.
I think we should fall to our knee. My lord, I did not expect to see you here, but then again, these are strange times sometime.
You're in his palace.
We're
Pretty
in
much,
his
yeah.
palace, but I'm flying by the seat. I'm flying by the
literally
seat
in his
of my
throne
pants
room.
and I'm pooping him right now.
Alright then. Lord Farharden just kind of cuts across you and strides towards the king. Ah, my liege! I'm so sorry to have troubled you with
Does
these.
he pass me?
Does he pass any of us?
Yes.
Great. Wherever, as he walks past me, I turn. I keep walking alongside him. I keep within a 5 feet space. Probably adjacent.
He
Same.
kind of glances over to you and says, I'm just dealing with matters of the peasantry and with the reclaiming my rights and titles. It's
lord,
nothing to concern yourself with, my lord.
I interrupt him. My lord, these are not dealings of peasantry. He wishes to become ruler of a part of this kingdom, as you...
I do not!
well,
Where
well.
are you even getting that? Why do you think I am working for the dragon? It
I'm
took
not
over
saying
my
you're
house!
working- I'm not saying you're working for the dragon, but I say that you have knowingly sent people to their doom. You sent us, the 10th team that you send out there, knowing that there was a dragon in the mansion. It would have been a very wise thing to know, because if we hadn't had a lot of fortune by our side, we would be among those that you have managed to cheat out of their lives.
And we would have asked for a lot more money if we knew there was a...
Oh yeah.
Not only that, but we would have needed other preparations.
Well, you seem to have handled it perfectly fine.
The dog died.
I would like to point out
What dog? What are you on
a few
about?
things quickly. My dog died.
Oh,
I'm
boo-hoo.
then
Buy
looking
another
at
one.
The king, and then interrupting the lord. I tell him that if he is willing to have an audience and give me approximately 8 hours of preparation, I can create a zone of truth unless he has someone capable of such an enchantment available at hand. Then he can find out the truth for himself
Okay.
and see if the Lord is lying or not.
The king nods, and he lifts out a hand, and you feel a beam of magic swoop through the room. The king has cast Zone of Silence. The king is a high-level paladin.
I'm gonna DM you the rules for Zone of Truth quickly.
Alright.
Or I from this, obviously. There you go.
There you are. Alright then. So, you recognize the hand gestures he makes for this spell. And he nods to you, Uther, and then gestures towards the nobleman. He's basically giving you permission to question him.
I stand by the side.
When you say that, do you mean he's giving me to take the time to cast Zone of Truth, or he's just asking me to just...
The king just cast it.
Oh, shit. Alright then.
The king is a high-level paladin.
He just whips it out then. Sick.
Pretty much.
I'm guessing... I wouldn't know.
And he knows whether or not people pass or fail the save, so...
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, it says so in there.
Yeah. So I'm assuming as the king hasn't done anything else, it's passed? Question mark?
It is a concentration spell, I believe.
It is a charisma saving throw, whether they can lie or not, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Alright.
And the person knows whether they can or not.
The Zone of Truth is a constant effect, I believe, and whenever they try
You
to
can
lie, they
lie,
have to do the
but
thing. Every time they go to speak, they have to make the save.
No, it's the first time on the turn.
First time
that they're
on
there.
a turn.
Ah,
So
okay.
And then it's a permanent effect.
Well,
So
let me roll for my noble.
the noble gets to save, and the king knows whether or not he passed his save, so
Oh, he
he knows
fails.
if he can
He
lie.
fails. The noble starts... He lifts out a handkerchief and he starts mopping his brow. This is utterly preposterous, my lord. I don't see the need for any of this.
Were you aware that you were sending men to their deaths into the mouth of a living black dragon? A truly evil creature, the act of which itself is evil.
I knew there was a dragon. That's
24.
that's why I sent people to kill it. I just wanted my home and lands back. You're soldiers of fortune. That's what I hire you to do.
Who's going next in questioning? It's not just me.
It's just you. He's just given you permission. I will keep my mouth.
Tell to fucking ask then.
I mean, I think that's pretty much the gist of it. I would also ask, did you know you were underpaying for the services of slaying a dragon, and how many adventurers died on this trip?
I don't know. How much does an adventurer cost these days?
Adventurers are irreplaceable.
I'll
I'll
tell you
do
what.
an insight to see if he's dicking around, but I got 11, so I don't know.
Alright, let's see if he's good at deception.
He
Oh, no, he
can't
rolled
do
that one.
deception.
Yeah, he truly
no.
believes that adventurers can be bought and sold like bread.
I mean, he can try to deceive you, but the king will know whether or not he's...
Oh yeah, pretty much. But
Oh,
basically,
sick. Okay, so that's even better.
you get the impression that he doesn't care about anyone who isn't a nobleborn. He sees peasantry as expendable.
Peasantry is
unfortunately.
what makes you.
Do I whip out my trump card then?
What's your trump card?
Go
Because
ahead.
just so you know,
I
pulling out
think
your
my-
dick in front of the king is probably a bad idea.
I mean, you never know.
I would phrase it as, were you working with the dragon or with any of the other creatures within it to share the booty of the dead adventurers?
Work with the dragon. Don't be ridiculous. They're horrible creatures. Do you really think I'd want to go near one of those who will eat me without a second glance?
Well,
Objection. Or maybe, after losing your home and fortune, you struck an alliance with a foul beast in order to try and reclaim your fortunes.
I haven't
was
left
using
the
the dragon
city
to
since the
harvest
war
Or
began.
adventurers from their
Maybe not
riches and their
you.
loot and their gear in order to attempt to amass your own wealth before eventually slaying the dragon. And
I
having
didn't
enough
even
wealth to
become
rebuild your
aware
home.
of the dragon until 6 months ago.
I'm
6
sorry.
months ago. When did you first send a group of adventurers?
About a year ago, I suppose. I don't know.
Ah,
I'm gonna just
let me ask you
Yeah,
this.
he's telling the
Oh,
truth.
I see he's lying, but I got a 7, so I really don't think it's gonna work.
Let me ask you this, if I may, my lord. Looking at the king, waiting for his approval or disapproval.
He nods at you.
Have you ever met a dragonborn within the last, let's say, year and a half?
Well, there was that one who tried to sell me on a stage show.
Well,
She was a little bit crazy. I promised her I would get her an interview at the Bard's College, and then she left me alone.
only the Bard's College, you say?
Yeah, I didn't even bother doing that. She went insane on the steps of the Bard College, had to be dragged off with the guards. It was actually quite amusing.
Well, it's a strange coincidence. I've run into her
Oh, really?
in your mansion.
What?
Yes. How can you explain to me how she ended up there?
No! How did she end up there? Is this a trick
Well-
question?
No, this is not a trick question. I have reasons to believe that you invited her there.
Are you insane? The
If I
woman
were
was
insane, I wouldn't
absolutely
be standing
mental.
here. Instead, I was would be gibbering into the streets. So, no,
My lord,
not
this
insane.
is getting ridiculous. Me working with dragons? You know I haven't left this castle in years. The king does agree with him, but you can see there is a
I didn't
very
get that.
deep furrowing in his brow. He holds up his hand and starts to step down on the steps. Two of his guards flank him. And he looks over to you guys and says, "Did you enter into a contract with this nobleman?" Yes or no,
Unfortunately.
gentlemen?
Yep.
And small lizard thing. Stomach's
No,
there.
he didn't enter into a contract. He joined us along the way.
He's adorable. Anyway, did you acquire the items he asked you to acquire?
I casually juggled the ring and scrolled through.
Item. Only for the ring.
Tim,
Alright. He nods to a guard. A guard steps forward and holds out his hand for the items.
I mean, I
Please,
already
gentlemen.
grabbed my money, so I'm not gonna rock the boat with the king.
Okay.
I'll hand him over.
Alright then.
turn that away.
So, the guard steps back and holds the items out to the king. The king picks up the signet ring and looks at it. Then he picks up the scroll tube and opens it and starts reading down the family tree. And he looks over to the lord. This is an impressive lineage. Thank you, my lord. It's a pity you don't live up to it. My lord? What are you saying? He rolls up the scroll and hands it back to his guard. He holds up the signet ring and just kind of glares at the noble. And you can see him, as a large fat man that he is, he starts to shrink under the king's glare. Oh dear, how am I going to do this now? He turns to look at you, the 4 of you, 5 of you, the 6 of you who are there now, and asks,
The group of you.
yeah, that word. You slayed a dragon that had taken root in my lands. Is that true?
Yes, my lord.
I move over to Timotto and
Well, he did.
I want to see if he has still got the dragon tooth.
He does. Darius kind of nudges and whispers to Timotto. He rummages in his little satchel and pulls out the dragon tooth and hands it to the king. King picks up the tooth and he starts to examine it. This is quite sizable. This was not a young dragon, but it had not yet fully grown. and you knew this creature lived in my lands. My lord, it was nothing to bother you with. You told me to deal with my own affairs, so I dealt with it. And you sent many men to their deaths without warning them. They're only adventurers, my lord. Even the Grand Advisor said they were starting to clutter the kingdom. If anything, it's a cowl. It's a service to the kingdom.
I shoot a glance at him, trying a little bit of intimidation here.
Do you want to roll it?
Can I assist? I've been rolling a whole night of intimidation.
All right.
You know what? I'm gonna fucking bother.
I think he's gotta shut up now.
All right. He moves away from you guys and tries to put a guard between you and the rest of them. The king turns to little Timotto and asks, "May I keep this?" Darius translates, and Timotto kind of goes, "No, mine." Reaches up his wee hands and give back. Give it back. He's gonna try and stop him.
I'm going to put a hand on Timotto's shoulder and try to restrain him. And
I'm going to then put the wooden prop horse I've been holding on his hands that has currently outstretched.
Toto looks confused. The king lets out a deep belly laugh and sets the tooth back on Timotto's hands. He turns to his guards and he flicks his wrist towards the noble. Two guards seize him by the shoulders and start to escort him out. What's going on? I must protest, my lord. This is most irregular. Get your hands off me. Get, my lord. My lord. So the king just shakes his head and pinches the bridge of his nose as the noble gets forced out of the room. And he looks across to you and says, "I'm afraid I must apologize for a member of my court. He has embarrassed the kingdom with his actions. May I ask, what was he going to pay you?"
I believe Shava has the correct answer for this.
Yes, right.
I believe has the piece of paper with...
Yeah, I will just hand over the letter, the one that we recovered that was for more money.
I see. And which one of yous is Fluffles the adventurer?
That was, unfortunately, the dog.
Fluffles.
I think we're still in the zone. You really want to try that?
We have moved away from the zone of truth.
Fluffles was a
I've been
tabaxi
tracking moves in my
adventurer.
head crazy well for this.
Fluffles was a tabaxi adventurer who had never returned from the mansion. But anyway, he looks at you and says, "Well, I see he has already given you a substantial amount of money, and judging by your own purses, you've managed to claim some treasure from the Dragon's Hoard itself. I'm afraid there's not much monetarily I can offer you. My kingdom has been, shall we say, ravaged by war for quite some time. I can, however..." Yes?
In all honesty, Your Highness, given the amount of gold we were able to recover from the dragon, I think that what we just saw was really payment enough in the grand scheme of things.
I'm glad you
wholeheartedly
agree. I'm glad you agree. However, there must be a reward for ridding my kingdom of this evil. Had he been left alone to fester, who knows how powerful he would have grown. So,
if Your Highness feels so, who am I to disagree?
But maybe it should just merely be a token of your appreciation.
Why don't you let the king decide what he feels is appropriate?
I agree.
the king opens up his arms and basically says, The kingdom is open to you. In this city, you will always find a home. Each of you will be given a ring that bears my seal. You can present this at any tavern, any inn, any place of rest within the borders of my kingdom, and you will be taken care of. I would also ask that you would stay and enter my service in the Adventurers Guild. We have very few guards who cannot take care of incidents like this in the far borders.
Sounds like a good deal to me.
Sounds like a brilliant deal to me.
Excellent.
I most assuredly will not object.
Excellent. And what of you, little friend? He looks to Darius. He looks to Timotto. Darius has been whispering in Timotto's ear, and Timotto just kind of nods vigorously. He's happy about this. And so is Darius. He says, very well. I must say this is mostly for thanks for getting rid of that Farharden. He has been, a pain in my side for many years. His father was a great man. Him, not so much. But anyway, I shall take my leave. I have many things to do. If you will wait in the antechamber, we will see about delivering your rings. And I would like you to join me tonight. And we shall have a glorious feast to celebrate the vanquishing of this evil we didn't even know was in our kingdom. So he nods, and he heads off through the side room, with his guards flanking him.
Rad.
And that is the end of the adventure.
I have a final question.
Yes?
How did it take me so long to notice Beevehr Cleaver?
Wait, what?
Beevehr the Cleaver.
Oh my god!
He's Beevehr the Cleaver, I'm Barben the Bard.
I want to point out I also have alliteration in my name.
Luther Lightbringer, yeah.
Yeah,
So-
but not Beevehr Cleaver.
Yeah, that's actually what I started out with, and I built a character around that.
Yeah, it's a bit the other way around with me. I basically just looked up half-elf names, and somehow I ended up with Barben. And so, thought, hey, that's a good bard name. And the
So-
backstory I got by randomly tossing some dice into a background generator.
Now,
Through the end of the adventure, each of you was granted Grandmaster status in the newly founded Adventurers Guild within the kingdom. You went on to face many adventures and each making great names for yourselves, with many songs being sung, many of which proposed by Barden himself. However, the greatest legend that spanned from the kingdom of this time was the first kobold adventurer, the mighty Timotto Dragonbane, whose legend still lives on today.
And scene.
Oh my god, I still can't get over that he killed the dragon. I can't believe it.
that was pretty cool.
That was, I mean, it would have been a downer ending to have the dragon being killed by coins.
See, to be truly
I
honest,
was one hit away from
the
hitting for minimum of 50 damage.
Nazim was
big
nearly
cracks.
killed by the kobolds too.
Pardon?
Nazim was nearly killed by the kobolds too. That was the dragonborn.
Oh yeah, you mean a big shouty dude.
Yeah.
But if I were to make a vote for play of the game, as we have done in the past, it would be for remembering that we have an animate objects scroll.
Yeah.
That
Ah,
did so
Single
much
handedly
damage.
won us the entire encounter.
So it's
Yep.
I take
it's
that.
like the Overwatch, the Overwatch play of the games where you just see
Torbjorn's turret.
Torbjorn just walking around while kill feed notifications pop up and nothing's happening. It's kind of like that, except you just see Barden open a scroll, read it, close a scroll, and that's the whole clip.
Yeah, I mean, I had to do one genius thing, or at least one thing I mean, if that wouldn't have been the play of the game, I think the stupid idea. Look, we just lift the cauldron in. I mean, that was a spur of inspiration, apparently.
It was good.
I'm actually surprised you dived in because the chef was going to introduce you guys as friends.
Oh no.
No, we didn't have the chance anymore.
With the time limit on animate objects and the desire to get the form of coins in, we just couldn't afford to.
Yeah.
That was fun,
I
though.
mean,
I enjoyed that.
I mean, that was wonderful. Kill a cauldron, yeah.
I think
That was a lot of fun.
my favourite stand.
I would point out, MVP is probably Timotto, considering the amount of shit he did for you guys.
Oh yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Let's see. He got the key off the Dragonborn. He helped you find the secret passage. He dropped the chandelier on the dragon. He killed the dragon. He rallied a kobold army.
With a little bit of help.
Yeah, a little bit of help.
I get by with a little help from my kobold.
Yeah, pretty much.